Hi, everybody, and happy Galentine's Day.
Hello, hello. It's so wonderful to see you all out there and to hang with my gal pals, Sarah James and Rachel Malice, to kick
Yay.
off our Galentine's Day event today. Oh, so much fun.
This is an annual event that Jesse James Beads and Softflex Company put on every single year where we get to gather with all of our beady friends here online and some amazing gal pal designers to celebrate peace, love, beads, and friendship.
I'm so excited.
Today is so it's this is an annual event that Jesse James Beads and Softflex put on together, and today is quite the marathon of jewelry making. In the past, we've split this up over 2 days. We've had two designers on one day, two designers on the next day. But today we said, you know what, we're going all in. We're going February 13th, actual Galentine's Day, and we're going to do 4 classes, 4 hours of jewelry making. It's a freaking marathon right here on Facebook and YouTube for all of our friends out there to be able to watch, enjoy, and learn something new.
I love it. And if you don't know, Galentine's Day was started by the funny Leslie Knope.
I did not know this.
Did you not know this? On her show, and it just sort of took off, and it's now everywhere because it's just so fantastic. I have a few funny Leslie Knope quotes here too. She says, "If there's a law against friendship, lock me up." It's from the lovely Leslie Knope. And then she also says, we need to remember what's important in life. And I'm gonna change one of these to beads, I think. But she said, friends, waffles, I say beads, and work. Or waffles, beads, friends, and work. It doesn't matter, but work is third. From Leslie Knope.
I actually had waffles like 20 minutes ago.
Did you?
Rachel is on brand for today.
I didn't know.
We didn't know. We should have all had waffles for breakfast, like Rachel. Oh my gosh.
I love the sense of Galentine's Day. I did not know that this came from the sitcom Parks and Rec, Leslie Knope, that Kristen was just quoting for us. I always thought of Galentine's Day just a day to celebrate our gal pal friendship. And they say Valentine's Day, like February is a season of love. So Valentine's Day, we're celebrating love, but there's so many different types of love. There's friend love. There's the love that we have for our animals. There's the love that we have for creativity. There's the love we have for self. There's the love we have for life. And I feel like all of us really just like vibe as the same tribe here online in our jewelry making communities because we have a passion for creativity, we have a thirst for life, and we have a caring for our fellow makers and our friends and the friends that we have developed through this maker community.
Oh, you said it so perfectly, Miss Sarah James. I mean, really, that's what it's all about. It's all about the love. It's all about the friendships. It's all about the beads all day, every day. And I just can't wait to see all of the fantastic things in store for all of you out there today. I know that we have a few kits left over at softflexcompany.com. They are on sale, so you can go grab the supply kit over there. There's not a ton. Wow. No, but there are a handful. So as you're watching today, and I know you'll be inspired, if you haven't picked up your kits yet, grab the supply kits from us at softflexcompany.com and go grab the bead kits from Jesse James Beads at jessejamesbeads.com. And this way you can always watch all the replays and make with all of us a little bit later. Today you can hang, be inspired, just, chat it up with your gal pals, and then you can always watch the replays to make everything on your own after.
And we really do have so many fun designs coming up. We've got Rachel Malice here. She's going to be in our first hour teaching us today. Then we have Jennifer Miller. After that, we've got Deb Floros. And then wrapping everything up, we have Brittany Chambers. So 4 powerhouse designers, starting with Rachel right here today. So awesome.
Amazing. And it's all going to be hopefully with no issues on this stream. If we do have any technical issues, just look for us to kind of pop back up, right? As always. But we just kind of plan to stay here, hang out on this video. So you can pop in and pop out. And you should hopefully be able to find the entire event all on this one stream, which is pretty amazing.
I think so too. I love it.
It's like you don't even have to, like, Netflix isn't even like, are you still watching? Yes, I'm still watching, and it's still going.
Like
that question, when I get that question, I'm like, oh gosh, I am. Should I be?
If you like pause it periodically, it asks you less, just like a pro tip.
Oh, pro tip.
Stop
That's
judging
so funny.
Netflix. Yeah, I'm still watching. Facebook and this broadcast will not do that to you. So you can just
we're not gonna shame you for still watching. No shame in your bead game.
No.
I like that. Kristen with the quotes today.
I'm just channeling my Leslie. No.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love that we can like all be characters like on our own sort of like beady reality shows sitcom here. You know, like it's real. It's real live TV. Accidents can happen. Bloopers are real life, and the coolest thing is that we get to hang out with each other. You know,
Sarah, I just have to ask: is your X's and O's lighting up right
yeah.
now?
Yeah, it's like a whole scene here. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That just went even more epic than I thought. I'm like, I wasn't sure if I was getting a flash of light, and then I'm like, no, I think they're lighting up. Oh, that's amazing.
We lost power at my house here. Well, at my mom's house. I'm in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. If you're in the Northeast corridor here, you might have experienced some snow as well. Internet was down, power was out. I was able to get a hot shower today with the rest of the water that was left in the pipe. So, you know, that was going for me. But
oh my goodness.
Jesse James warehouse, the lights are on, the internet is on. I'm here for it.
Oh, that's awesome. And let's talk about Rachel's glasses real fast. I mean, how amazing are those?
Thank you. I needed new glasses, and you know, I was like, how am I going to encourage myself to wear these instead of just putting my contacts in all the time? So
I think you nailed it.
I needed the gems.
That's when you're feeling a little extra. No, they're beautiful. I love them. And I'm just like drawn to it. What a great shape. And I love all the sparkle and gems. So awesome.
I cannot see without them. So
I love that you have them. That's wonderful.
We're all glad you can see today, Rachel.
Trust me, that would be an interesting class.
What are you planning to share with us?
So I have a project made. Surprise. So we were all able to select it was really hard to like now not be greedy and pick the entire kit to put in my project, but I picked the crystal saucers, and we're gonna make this. And what I wanted to do with this is make it so that you could kind of wear it how you wanted. So you could wear this as a necklace, you could wear this as a bracelet, you could use it as another part and add stuff onto it.
You could probably wear it as a headband.
Yeah.
I think I totally would.
You totally could. This gorgeous silk is so long that you could wear it as a headband. You could really do it, maybe a belt if you have a tiny waist.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would fit me, but
I'm gonna stick with the headband.
You like a bicep, like I don't know.
Some upper
headband might be the best option.
I love that. That's really fun. And there's so many ways that you can enjoy it, and just depends on your day, your mood, your outfit. I think that's fantastic.
A versatile piece.
Yeah. I do too.
It looks awesome. And you know what? This is such a great day of artistry and design and learning. everyone that's come to the table here, all of our designers, the team at Jesse James Beads, the team at Softlex has worked really hard to bring together this really cool event, from the graphics that were created by, I believe, our dear Kristen Fagan here. They're amazing.
That was me.
Really good. You're like,
thank you.
Got to gas up our girl Kristen, because she is such an amazing, amazing artist. And you bring that to the table here for us to just kind of set the scene and set the vibe for our love, beads, and friendship Galentine's Day jewelry making party.
Thank you. And you guys always bring it too at Jesse James Beads. So I was just trying to like level up, you know, and so I appreciate that. That was really sweet.
So should we start getting into some making? What do you guys think? Are we ready?
Let's do it.
I hope we're ready.
So I'm going to pop out and let Sarah James take over hosting for now. And you may see me kind of pop back in a little bit later. So have fun, enjoy designing with Rachel. And I can't wait to see what everyone makes today.
Your nails.
Oh, thank you.
Bye, pals.
Bye. Later, gal pals.
All right. And then number 2.
I'm going to go ahead and also flip my camera around.
Awesome. And as soon as Rachel gets our camera down, we will spotlight to the mat so we can get to creating this really great project. So I'm just reaching over here. Kristen was mentioning that there are kits available. I think we've got 15 left on jessijamesbeads.com. You get everything that you need to make all of the projects that you are about to see created here today. We've got 4 designers, 4 hours of creating. I know there's going to be more than 4 projects, because there's going to be some necklaces that have earrings, some bracelets,
totally.
some matchy parts. So anyway, if you haven't yet gotten a kit and just coming to hang out with us today, enjoy it. If you want to create what it is that you're seeing, go on over to jessijamesbeads.com and softflexcompany.com. Rachel, you let me know when you're ready, and then I'm going to spotlight for everybody.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this to not seem wobbly. Does everything look okay?
I think it does. Yeah, I'm going to solo layer for you guys. So I'll be here in the background, everybody. And Rachel, let's see what you got for us today.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay. So what we have here is what I was showing you before. This is our versatile piece. And for this project, I picked, initially I used the pink Softlex. Today I'm going to do it in the white just because I'm kind of curious. And there's so much Softlex on here that you'll definitely have enough for this and other projects. So we use that, and then I use these cute little orange clover beads that were from what did I do with them? The little bead mix. I love these containers too. I feel like every time I get anything from Jesse James, I always end up with like lots of really cute containers too. Yes. This was also in the bead mix. I love this. It is so wonderful. And then we're going to use probably like 3/4 maybe of these beautiful little crystals. I am obsessed with them. They're like beautiful peachy color. And then of course we've got the dyed silk, which is such a good length too. So if you wanted to use this for multiple projects, you really don't need the whole length for this project. Probably if you were using it as a headband, you would, but if you were just doing like the wrap bracelet or whatever, you could totally cut this in half and use it for more projects. Oh, I love it so much. I didn't want to cut it because I love it. All right, and then we're also going to need some crimps that I seem to have hidden from myself. Oh, they're underneath the ear wires. Okay, we got them. False alarm. So we're going to start by cutting our Softlex wire, and we're going to use 4 crimps for this project, by the way. I am going to be using the magical crimping pliers for this project, but you could totally use regular crimping pliers. It's just personal preference. And let's get some wire cut. So we're gonna cut I like to cut a significant amount of extra just so you don't have to worry about worry about playing wire chicken or running out. And plus when you cut a lot extra, then there's usually enough left. Like if you cut like a lot extra as opposed to just a little bit extra, you have enough left for another project, I find. So at minimum, you need like 24 inches for this project, but I'm gonna cut more like 30. I gotta do math in my head. I have a 14-inch ruler. All right, there we go. And I am going to just cut now. I love the little clippy things. Makes me feel so fancy. Okay, so we are going to kind of we're gonna fold it in half just so we can kind of see where the end is, or not the end is, the middle is. And then I'm gonna slide a crimp bead onto one side, just one side, because in order to get the circles, we're gonna want to put the other wire through the crimp bead this way. And I'm just kind of keeping a hold on it so that I can kind of keep it in the middle, but it's not like a big deal. If not, you can definitely pull. Yeah, that didn't end up being centered. But it's not, since we have extra, like, it's not centered. I went the wrong way and made it too long on the other side. Since we have extra, like, the centering really isn't like a crucial step. Get it good enough. And you'll decide how large you want your loop here. You want it large enough, especially if you're using the magical crimping pliers, you want it large enough to be able to get the pliers into it. But you also want to be able to replicate the size. So if you have any bail making pliers or anything, this is a tip I like to do. I never crimp things. Well, I shouldn't say never. I don't crimp things onto clasps a lot of the time. A lot of the time I just crimp like an open loop so I can do whatever I want later on. So it's great to have these kind of things because you can kind of size it on there and then crimp it without worrying too much. The soft flex really doesn't slip around a lot, which is great for doing your loops. So I've got my little loop there, and I'm going to come in with my magical crimping pliers. I love these things. It feels like cheating when I use them.
Yeah, and the soft flex crimps really are the best. This is like everyone in the beading world knows it. They talk about it. Like,
I I actually learned, it's so funny. I've been making jewelry for like 20 years. But I never I was learning kind of like as a kid, so I didn't really have access to or know what to have access to learn like stringing and crimping and stuff. So I tried to do crimping, and I tried to use like 30 gauge like craft wire and like some really cheap crimps, and everything just broke always. So I was like, okay, crimping must be for like masters, like this is not me. And I learned to do stringing and crimping during the pandemic actually.
oh, that's
And then I just kind of like went crazy with it. Okay, so now that we're at this point, I've got my little crimp right there. I love how round they look. They look so fancy. Okay, and we're gonna be building up to this size. So you could do them all the same size if you wanted. I wanted kind of like a graduation in size. So we're gonna start with 5 crystals on each side, and then we're gonna string one of these clovers onto one side. And then we'll do it again. So let's start. All right, 2, 3. There was a class I was doing, it was a couple years ago, I guess, at this point. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a double strand necklace and we're gonna use like 3mm beads. And the comments on that video were like, this is like watching paint dry. It's like, note to self, next time pre-record that and just speed it up.
That's so funny. We talk about that with jewelry making classes about how like cooking show, like sometimes it really is a benefit to do like a cooking show version of a class.
Right. I'm always like, oh, I'd love to go like live every day. And I'm like, I really don't think they want to see me stare at my beading mat for 3 hours. So I've got this all strung on here and I have the clover on one side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through the clover like we did the crimp. These have a really great size hole, which was perfect for this design. So we're going to go through the hole and it'll be coming out like that. And then you just pull it. It's so satisfying. I feel like it's like watching one of those videos where they're just like click, click, click. The ASMR videos. Okay, and then we're gonna do, we're just gonna do 6 now.
Are you graduating the loops just by one bead or?
Yes, so it's just by one bead, but because you're doing one on each side, it ends up being 2.
Yes.
I actually did try, just in case you're wondering, I did try it with 2 and I liked how it looked better this way.
Oh, it's so pretty.
3. So I'm doing 6 this time and then I'll do another clover. 5, 6. It doesn't matter which side you put the clover on, so don't worry too much about that. I'll just count and make sure I actually did get 6. Okay, perfect.
All of the projects that we're learning today are really, I imagine, to be very like almost like meditational. The way that we're doing it's like stringing is so relaxing.
Right.
We have craft wire out today. We are like stringing on Softlex, putting some beads on string, and turning them into pretty jewelry projects.
Yes, you don't have to worry so much about loops or whatever.
Right.
It's just like very chill. Okay, so I'm gonna do 7 now. Just going up by 1.
Maria has a good question in the crowd. She's asking, can we watch this again later? And the answer to that is absolutely. You can watch live. You can pop in and out as you want. We are going to be broadcasting until 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're broadcasting live from those hours. But you can come back tomorrow or the next day or next week or next year or whatever you want and watch this video again, either on Softlex or Jesse James Beads YouTube or Facebook. Just go to the video section of Facebook, and then on YouTube, you can find this video as well. They're under the name Galentine's Day.
Yes, I think they put the live videos under like a separate section on YouTube where it says live. So if you're having trouble finding it, I would look to see if you can find that on the Jesse James or Softlex profile. But there's some great videos on both of those. So if you don't find this one initially, I would definitely recommend poking around. I always have fun doing that.
This project is coming together so beautifully. I love watching it come together, Rachel.
I love how different it looks based on what color wire you use too.
Yeah.
I think that's so such a benefit of like translucent, transparent beads.
Yes.
Is that it's so easy to just like completely transform.
Oh my gosh, yeah, do you guys see that? Look at it. What wire did you use for the sample that we're looking at there?
I used pink.
You used pink.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm sure it's got a better name than that. Pink tourmaline. And now I am using white quartz. I really wanted to know what it would look like. I made it and then I was like, man, I really wonder what it would have looked like on the white. And I was like, well, I have the white, so I could just do the class with the white and then we can see.
Yeah, that was a good idea to show us a couple different options of how, you know, the wire really does play a role in the overall color and look of the piece.
Mm-hmm. And it really, it all goes so well together too, really.
These cute little beads that Rachel's working with right now can be found in the Galentine's Day bead kit from Jesse James Beads over at jessejamesbeads.com. And the little teeny ones, they're not quite a bicone. It's like a
saucer is what I was calling them.
Yeah. I was calling it like a bicone that was squished, but I think saucer might be a little more succinct and make sense. Make a little more
They're
sense.
kind of like UFO shaped, so
yeah.
I love a saucer though. I think it's fun. It's such another just another look. 8. Okay, so this last circle we've got 8, and of course you could keep going forever, but I wanted to make sure I had enough of my little clovers for this design. But they're actually, I tried on, we're going to use some of the other beads and some of the other amazing projects some of these have today, but you could, most of the beads I think actually had pretty good size holes that you could totally just switch out for a different one if you really wanted to. All right, and then this is the clover. Forgive me, I have shaky hands, so sometimes sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle. All right. Okay, perfect. I really do love how it's looking on the white quartz. Okay, now this part is like a tiny bit tricky, but not really. I would say this is the trick. This is not the trickiest part. The trickiest part is the second loop, I think, and it's even that's not that tricky, but just preparing you. I'm gonna do it, and then everyone's gonna be like, "That was not hard, Rachel. That was." So you are gonna string your crimp onto both wires, going the same direction. So not like we did at the beginning. They're going to the same direction because we're going to put them through the majestic focal bead together.
I like that name for it.
And the reason I did it like this, because you could totally just string the bead on now instead of the crimp, but I really just didn't want anything to shift. So I'm pulling the wires down and the crimp down to almost be flush with the side of the clover bead, and it doesn't have to be completely up against it. The whole point is just so that the wires really don't shift. Not that I really think they probably would, but I like to not have to fuss with things at the end of a project. I just like it to be everything to be where I put it and stay there. All right. So I'm just doing my crimping, and again, you can use a regular crimper if you wanted. I never know when to stop. All right, now we are going to slide our bead on here, and you could put other beads on here too if you wanted it to be longer. I really wanted this project to be about like 6 inches ish, so that it really could fit anyone as a bracelet or as the choker or whatever. How was I going to finish that sentence? You can really alter it however you want, but if you do it this way, it'll be about 6 inches, I think. Yeah, a little over 6 inches. So I was like, what size would be the best like for everyone? So if you wanted to add like an extender chain or anything, like it would be perfect for lots of different wrist sizes. Okay, now we are going to put the crimp on the other side. And again, through both together. I like how the silver crimp like grabs some of the color from the crystals in this. All right, and grab my crimp. Okay, and squish it. This is a great project also to practice you're using them out. I know it takes a little while to get used to these magical crimpers if you do decide to use them. It's great to practice them in areas where the strength of the project does not rely solely on that crimp. Like this is really more of a kind of like a placeholder. So like if your crimp wasn't perfect, like it wouldn't, nothing would fall apart. It's really just to keep everything how we want it. Okay, now we're gonna go and get our other clover, just the clover this time, and come through both sides like we've been doing. All right. And you want to kind of like pull this a little slowly so you don't have to fidget with it so much. We're just trying to get it even like the other side. Almost there. Okay. So we got that. Twist it. There we go. And then we're just going to do what we did before. But we're going to go down in size. So we're going to start with the 8. 1, 2, 3. 8. Okay. Do the other side. I was really excited about these saucers because I feel like usually when you get a bead like this, where it's like Preciosa I'm not sure what maker of the saucers are. But I feel like we got so many of them, and I feel like you don't usually get this many of them. So you can go like glitter crazy. I feel like usually you could go like glitter little crazy, but now I can just be like, I'm like, if I want to use all of these, I can.
You could go glitter mega crazy.
Yeah, just sparkle all the time.
Yeah.
If a man didn't also live here, things would be painted sparkle. Trust me.
And people ask me what my favorite color is, and my answer oftentimes is glitter or leopard.
I love glitter. Yeah. All right. So then we're going to do 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, other side. It would be so easy to like use this design and make a bunch of different. It would completely change depending on what beads you use. So it would be fun for this to be like a signature piece that you could switch out.
Like switch out the center one?
Oh yeah, so like if you made another one with like different beads, say if you had like leftover or like after after you've used all the beads from your kit and you're like, wow, I really like that design, I want to make it again. And you made like another one, but it was completely different. And then you could just switch your ribbon from design to design. And like, okay.
I think I'm echoing the sentiments of everybody watching right now. Rachel, this design is so cool. It's like, it's versatile, it's fun, it comes together like quick and easy. And like you're just saying, you know, you're doing it with these beads here right now, but if you did it with some other style beads, it would have a completely different look.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing projects like that, where once you got the technique, like it's really applicable to so many different things. And I feel like a lot of things in jewelry making are like that. I was teaching a lot of classes throughout the pandemic, and I'm sure you guys were too. But it was just so fun seeing, like, I love to come up with different techniques, and it was fun seeing where people took them, the ways they combine them into different projects. So I was like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Yeah, beating over the pandemic, like that's where all of this online broadcasting really took off, and it's the sparkliest, most glitterati filled silver lining that we could have had from the pandemic, was to be able to really lean into all the education online and hanging out.
It's been such a blessing, because I feel like if you looked for beating YouTube videos before the pandemic, like there were some there, but there were not as many. And like, since everyone was making them, then everyone was like thinking about like, well, I need to make this the best quality video, because everyone's going to be seeing all these other ones. So like we want it to be the best quality, so they pick our video. So now we have these like amazing beading tutorials, whereas like if you look at ones from like 10 years ago, it's kind of hard to see. All right, so we are on our last loop, and this is the 5 bead one, or the 5 on each side, so 10. I still have so many of these crystals left over too. They're the gift that keeps on giving.
I love that.
Look at how many, I still have so many left. I put them in this little jar because I have a tendency to fling things across the bead mat. Now we are, you laughing in solidarity.
I'm laughing because I know that every other person in the comments is like, oh yeah, that's never happened to me. Small beads just have a tendency to that they like to be airborne, you know?
We don't really vacuum the area over by my desk. I kind of just like sweep it with my hands so I can pick the beads up. Oh, and let me talk about what I'm doing right now. So instead of a clover on the end, because we've used all our clovers and we're getting up to the end of the project, like I said, this is the trickiest part, but it's really not that tricky. You'll be okay. And so I've got my crimp on where we would have a clover, and then we're going to come back through it the same way we would for the clover. And yeah. Now what we're going to do different is we're going to take one of these wires and we're going to go back through again. And you might have to fiddle with it. The magical crimpers, I think Sarah has said before, Sarah Ayler, that you could do up to 3 strands, and I have found that to be true. I think I have tried to put more strands through there before as well, but definitely you can do 3. So we've got 3 strands going through right now. I'm just taking this so they can be relatively the same size on each side, like I was saying. What's nice about the 3 strands is also like there's so many in there that it's kind of holding its place. I don't have to worry about it slipping around. Okay, just all right, perfect. Kind of come in here with my magical crimpers again. You have to be really careful not to get any of your saucers when you're doing this part, but luckily they are larger than seed beads, so you don't have to they don't sneak into the crimping plier as easily. All right, broke some seed beads when I was crimping yesterday, and I was quite annoyed. I feel like they just sneak under your feet like cats. So yeah, this one's a little bit trickier because you don't have as much mobility, but it's still going great. Then when we're done with this, we're going to come in here with some flush cutters and snip the edges flush. Okay. And these little pieces are still like a good size if you wanted to do earrings or something with them.
Yeah, that's a quick question, actually. Let's see here. How much wire did you start with, Rachel, or did you just kind of eyeball it?
I started with 30 inches. I would say when I did the first one, it's funny, I was like, I want to have like a lot of extra wire. So I was like thinking, usually you do double the size of whatever you're making so that's how long you'll have for the wire. And I was like, I want so much extra, so I'm going to cut 4 times the size I want the end piece to be. And it ended up being like barely enough. So like 24 inches is like, it's pretty tight on this one. So if you're not like super confident in your centering and stringing skills, I would definitely do more. The 30 inches was great for this, and we had this much left over, which is a great size piece for another project. You could totally do a little pair drop earrings.
Love that.
So cute. And then, so what I loved about doing the loops on the end is you can really finish it however you want. So I chose to finish it with our beautiful ribbon, and you could do it as a headband, a choker, a wrap bracelet. But you could also, like, if you wanted to like get a jump ring and just pop a clasp on this and call it a day. It's totally up to you. So this is how I threaded it through, and I liked it like this because then I could do it myself. So just tighten it. And then you can wrap your ribbon around your wrist and tie it if you want. I love that. I love wrap bracelets.
So pretty. Oh, you could even just like tie it in the back and let the ribbons kind of fall down like that.
Yes. You could tie it up top too if you wanted, and have like a bow up there or a knot, whatever you can do one-handed. I did manage a bow one-handed the other day. I don't know if I'll be lucky enough to do that today. But you want to make sure that your strings are going in opposite directions, which I did not do. So that way you'll be able to meet them up to tie them easier. Did I just do the same thing again? Yes, I did.
Wow, it looks so pretty on your wrist. I love the color of the crystals and how neat it is that you can put the different color of wire underneath it and have a completely
different... yeah, it's totally different.
Wow. It's beautiful.
I love that. I love them together too. Awesome. I'm like very curious about the headband thing that Kristen mentioned earlier, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that right now.
Super cute.
A lot of headbands. Yeah, here we go. Love it. You could also totally, if you aren't able to do a bow or whatever, because of the faceting on the saucers, if you slip the tail ends of your silk through here and you kind of wrap it around, it'll keep it in place, like one of those like little buckle belts where you slip it through. So like that's not going to go anywhere. That's so pretty too. So that's a little bit easier than tying a bow. I love the versatility of anything you can wrap, because you can really You can really make it your own. Okay. Come on now. So a little birdie told me that there might be so many earring possibilities in the kit that we might want to make some ear wires too. I don't know if that's something we'd be interested in.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of earrings and anything that has, I was about to say anything that has the word ear in it, but that sounds kind of weird. So, but earring,
Well, now
anything,
I'm trying to think of what else has the word ear in it.
earring, ear wire, earlobe. I don't know. Earrings, yes. Yes, and more, yes.
Okay, perfect. So we thought it'd be fun to just really quickly show you how you can make your own ear wires if you do end up needing more. I feel like I can never have enough ear wires. So what I am grabbing right now is I am grabbing some 20 gauge wire. This is Softflex craft wire. If you have access to like half hard wire, that is what I usually use, but you can also work harden your wire. So I'm going to show you just how I would make. Let's do a fun one with one. Will this fit on there? I'll show you how to do one with one of the saucers. Let me see. Yes. Okay. I know what we're going to do. We're excited. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my flush cutters and I am going to cut the end flush, and then I'm going to cut 2 pieces of wire. I like to use 2 1/4 inches. Again, with everything in jewelry making, I feel like it's better to have more than enough than not enough. But I feel like 2 1/4 inches is usually a pretty good amount. When I cut the second one, I'm actually going to use the first one to cut it with, because then if I didn't do a great job doing it exact, they'll at least be the same length. So at this point, I would work hard on the wire. I'm just trying to see where my, oh, got hammers everywhere. This is not the right hammer. So usually I'd use a nylon hammer. I'm not sure where that went. Here it is. Nope, that's not it either. All right. So you can also, I think Softflex has like bead whackers. You can like whack them together. You can also take a metal hammer and like really lightly work harden it if you want. This will flatten it though, so I just do it very lightly. What's nice about if you use brass for this, especially, brass is naturally like just a lot more stiff, so it holds up really nice if you're new to making ear wires. This is the gold plated from Softflex. Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I hammered that for a while. And then we're gonna come in with our round nose pliers. And I usually give it about, it's probably about 1/4 inch, maybe a little more. Yeah, 3/8. And we're gonna just make our loop. Okay, and we're gonna do the other one. All right, and then we're gonna slide on our little saucer. You could even do like a couple of these if you wanted, but that would be kind of long. So I've got my saucer. I'm gonna come in with my, you could use your chain nose pliers or your flat nose pliers for this next part. It's important to do the next part kind of delicately because you don't want to crack your bead. So I'm gonna find where the bead and where the bead kind of like ends, and I'll put my plier there, and then I'll get it a little bit of extra space. And we're gonna hold it, and we're gonna very lightly just twist it. And we're doing it like very lightly because I don't I don't want to crack the beads. So once you've got it twisted enough to where you feel like you might crack the bead, you're going to just inch your pliers up a little bit. You're going to keep going so that you get that nice 90-degree angle. So we'll do it again. I used to like put my fingernail here and like bend it, but I found this works a lot better and doesn't crack my fingernails. And let's see. So we're gonna get right down up by the bead, give it a little space, bend till you're concerned, move up, bend more. Okay. And then we're gonna come in. So you could use bail making pliers, you could use a pen, you could use one of these things. If you have one of these things, we're gonna use this. I don't know what this is called.
A mandrel. It's a nice looking mandrel.
That's a great word for it. Yeah, I've had this thing for so long. I couldn't even tell you what brand it is. So I'm just wrapping my ear wire around that, putting this right up against. I might have to fix that loop in the bottom, and I like to kind of like overlap a little bit, which you can stretch out, but I find that makes it the easiest to have them be the same shape. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna just fix my loop a little bit. Okay. And then stretch it out. It'll look a little bit better with properly work hardened wire also. So this is what we've got right now. And then I like to take these pliers and go right up against the end and flip it out. Let's do the other one. So we're coming back around the mandrel again. It's funny. I feel like when I haven't bought tools in a while, I forget what they're called because I already have them, so I don't have to look for them. I'm like, oh, I'm not shopping for them. My brain does not need to remember what this is called anymore. So
I love when you have a tool also that's just like that. That's like your tool. You're not going to replace it. Like if it were to break, you would be sad because it's like
right.
been in their stash for a long time.
Okay. Let's see. I'm actually going to put these in the bail making pliers just to make them. Like I said, the shape would be a little bit better if I had work hardened it more. Okay, there we go.
Super.
The work hardening is important though because if you're selling them or you're giving them to someone, like you really don't want them to be able to, but you want them to be able to put this in their ear without completely distorting it. So don't skip the work hardening step. And then you're gonna want to get a piece of sandpaper or a file. I usually have a nail file in here. I'm like, there we go.
What wire was that, Rachel? Was it 20 gauge? Did you say?
It's 20 gauge, yeah. 22 gauge I found, unless you've bought the wire pre-hardened, 22 gauge is just like too difficult for me to properly work harden. And it also just like is a little flimsy. A lot of the ones that you'll buy pre-made are more like 22 gauge, or like 21 gauge, but the wire is so much harder. So if you want to do a smaller gauge, I would buy pre-work hardened wire personally. And then you just want to sand file the ends so that it's not sharp. It won't cut anyone's ear, but you can totally use a regular nail file like I'm using for this.
So handy to know because I know there's tools out there and like, I mean, I know we all love having tools, like, but if you don't have at your disposal, knowing that you can just get an emery board out and smooth it.
Right. Mm-hmm. You do have to replace it more often than you do if you were using it just for your nails, but it is on wire. But I usually use like a little file also. But honestly, this works just as well. I have a file here. I actually left one of the file I like to use at my friend's house, and I don't think I'll ever see it again. So, so we've been getting a lot of use out of this emery board. But yeah, so then you have your own little ear wires. They would match this if you wanted this to be a ginormous earring. But I love to do that. I love this is just like the artisan touch is adding that other little bead right there. And then it just, the ear wire doesn't look like, oh, you just threw an ear wire on. Oh no, this ear wire was made for this earring.
I love that. This was a great class, Rachel.
Thanks so much for being here, everyone. I think I'll flip around back to me if that's okay.
Yeah, come on over. Okay, wait, let me put my hat back on. This is such a fun day to be able to hang out. And I was just saying this to Rachel and Kristen before we got going, that like this hang session for myself personally with you, Rachel, has been really great because we haven't really gotten to do this before. I know that you've been involved with Softlex and Jesse James Beads parties, but I think the last one was over Halloween, correct?
Yes.
And I was on my honeymoon. So it was just really nice to be able to spend this time and create and just hang out.
Yeah, it was great getting to create with you. I had a lot of fun.
I'm excited to try this project out. I do myself love like door knocker earrings. So maybe mine will turn into like just a really long pair of.
Yeah, I love huge earrings. That's like one of my favorite things.
Not afraid.
These are small for me today, but I was like, I need something that's like on Galentine's trend. So
yeah,
I was like, okay, we got to put those opal hearts on that you made.
Pretty. Oh my gosh. Yes, I think I saw something. Did you just post those recently? Oh, they're beautiful.
Yes, I had everyone try to help me decide what was going to go in the center.
I think the red, is it garnet in the middle?
It's a ruby.
Special. Very Valentine's-y indeed. That's awesome. Wow. And Rachel, tell everyone that's watching from Jesse James Beads and Softlex, where can we hang out with Rachel more? Like, where can we get inspired by your designs? What's your Instagram handle? Like, where are you hanging out online?
I'm like very bad about updating things, but you can find me my YouTube and my Instagram and my TikTok are all Mally Jewelry. I have and I'll be saving this as well. I have a playlist on my YouTube. I don't really have any of my own YouTube videos. I do a lot with other people. So I have a whole playlist I put together on YouTube of classes I've done with others. So I've done a lot of classes with my friend Sam.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm about to shake. Don't get dizzy, anyone. I've done a lot of classes with my friend Sam. I've done a couple with Softlex. I got to do, I don't know if I put that on there. A couple years ago, I got to do like the Beadle-on challenge thing.
Oh, I love those.
That was fun. Everyone's talking the whole time, and I'm just like, I'm very competitive. I'm like, I'm gonna finish.
I love that. I think that just adds to it, like the designers that are like really focused. And that's one of the reasons why like I personally never like to make jewelry on camera, because my face like twists up into this like question mark concentration. But you did it.
Like sitting here restringing the same thing 8 times. But other than that, you can also find me on Facebook. If you make anything based off of the design I'm about to say, you can tag me. I'm pretty sure I'm in both your group and Softflex's group. Or you can friend me. I accept all friend requests, much to every security person's dismay. Oh my God, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they like jewelry making. I like jewelry making. Let's be pals. Yeah. Happy Galentine's. Well, speaking of pals, we've got another pal here in the green room in the waiting area. I'm going to add on here Miss Jennifer Miller. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
We'll add in.
I think my mic is on my phone.
It sure is. Yeah, that's all right. We'll get that demo camera in there anyway. Jen, welcome. Welcome. We just had a great class with Rachel. This has been a really fun first hour.
Of course. Way to go, Rachel.
I'm excited. I don't think I've seen anybody else's finished projects. So I'm excited to see I'm excited to see what you're going to do today.
Mine's changed. I think we're on the 18th different round of what I'm actually going to be using it for. Cause I get in and it's like, ooh, well, I kind of like this. And then our granddaughter, she's 3, almost 4, was like, well, Grandma, what about this? And I'm like, oh, yes. Okay. That's what it is. So yeah.
I think it's like really important to talk about that kind of stuff, because I've had so many people say to me like, oh, I can't do it like you, like it takes me so long. And I'm like, you didn't see the 18 times I strand this. You didn't see the basket of wire scraps I have sitting next to me of the same loop 20 times. Like you're seeing the end.
Right.
So I think it's really great to talk about that, so everyone knows like there's an artistic process for everyone.
Right. There is. It is nothing what I thought it was going to be. And so I'm just super excited. And last night I was kind of putting it up to my neck and I thought, this is it. This is it. I love it. Can't wait to wear it on Galentine's Day.
Yay. Oh, that's so awesome. Thanks, Rachel, for
Thanks
chiming
so much
in.
for having me. Thanks.
Yeah, this is a great class, and all the helpful tips that you've provided and the beautiful project. This is just really great.
Have fun, everyone. I can't wait to see what everyone makes.
Bye, Rachel.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, this is so fun. You know what? We are getting into hour number 2 of our 4-hour jewelry making marathon for Galentine's Day, and we have got the awesome Jennifer Miller here coming up after the fabulous Rachel Malice. Jennifer, you're here. It's good to see you. You look beautiful. I love your mat. Like, how the heck are you doing today?
We are doing perfect. I can't complain. We have 4 hours, 4 designers, and it's Galentine's Day. Happy Galentine's Day, Sarah.
Happy Galentine's Day, Jennifer. Oh, how wonderful. This is like some real binge-worthy jewelry making TV, if I do say so myself.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. Yes. I love it.
So, Jennifer, what are we working on today? I know that I've seen some beautiful orange beads. We had chosen, just as a little bit of background, before I turn it over to Jennifer, we had chosen these colors that are in the Galentine's Day kit, the Galentine's Day bead kit that is actually still available over at jessiejamesbeads.com. Get the beads there and the supplies, the crimp beads and all the wire and those beauty parts from softflexcompany.com. The beads that we chose for this were purple for friendship, pink for love, clear for peace, and orange for creativity. And I see that, Jennifer, you've got a lot of orange creativity and just creativity on your mat right here.
That's right. I chose the Chunkamunk. I had to get the Chunkamunk. Yay. I love the Chunkamunk crystal ball. It's awesome. It's amazing. I love it. It's so pretty and sparkly. And just like I said, I had a couple of different designs of what I was going to do, and this is completely different. So, and then also too, you'll see that I have a little bit of a show here on one side and a little different on another side. So I have a couple of different ways you can do it, however you want to. I like to expose wire, so of course I'm going to have an exposed wire side because I love exposing the gorgeous Softflex wire.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what we were just talking about in in Rachel's class just before yours, Jen, is we were seeing how that Softflex wire really plays such an instrumental role in the whole total vibe of the piece. So the beads, if the Jessie James beads you're using are translucent and you string the white Softflex wire, it has a completely different look than it does from stringing the garnet or the pink tourmaline. And you're going to find that, guys, like all of our gal pals in the audience, all of our gal pals, our guy friends, like everyone that's watching, you're going to be able to see that you can choose the Softflex wire of your liking to be able to have that piece have the color vibration of your choice. And I see that Jennifer's doing that already right here.
Yes, I'm using the garnet, and then I have the orange strand, and I'm also bringing in the pink daisy chain. So we're gonna layer it up, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I'm gonna be finishing this today because I'm gonna be wearing it tonight. So I just can't wait for us to dive in.
Do you have plans with your gal pals tonight, Jennifer, for Galentine's Day? You just go wear it and be happy that you had your gal pal time today.
I'm going to wear it while watching Rachel's and the other two designers because I'll have to watch them on replay. But I'll be wearing it and I'll be rooting them on. Even though it's not live, it'll be replay and I'll still be doing it. It's good.
I love that. And I'm like totally for like when I get dressed in the morning, like I feel like I'm not fully dressed unless I have earrings in, for example. So it's like when you make your jewelry, you put your jewelry on, even if you are going nowhere. If you're snowed in, if you're just drinking tea, put some jewelry on. You feel like, I don't know. I feel better for myself.
Complete. You're complete. So my mom would always say before she passed away, she'd say, never leave the house without rouge or mascara. Don't do it. Don't leave the house without those two items. My mama, which is her mom, said, don't leave the house without rouge or dipstick. And she called it dipstick, lipstick. And so here in the jewelry world, we're like, don't leave the house without a piece of jewelry on.
Yeah. Get your jewelry out. Make yourself feel better. You'll feel nicer when you have a piece of jewelry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get down to some jewelry making. Jennifer, you feel ready? We are going to spotlight to Jen's hand cam and let's get into it.
Let me pull this just a little bit down. Okay, so what we're going to be using today is we're going to be using the garnet. However, though, based on other designs, I believe any of the other three would work as well. I just chose the garnet just because I love red, and I thought red and orange looked really, really good together. I mean, look, I have orange and hot pink here, and I just absolutely love it. So I decided on the garnet. We're also going to be using some little white beads, and I took out 4, and I'm really only going to use 3. I changed my design up a little bit, and so we're going to use 3 of the little white rondelles. It's these here, and these were on the bead strand, the white, this one here with all the hearts. And yes, and that's all you're going to need unless you want to add some bling. I also saved up a crystal rondelle and then also a couple of bead caps too. So if you want to change things up, because I played around with putting bead caps on the end and that type of thing, but I ended up going with adding the 3. We're also going to be using some of these orange beads. We'll put the chain off to the side. And what I did with the chain was I cut off 5 links, and with the chain there's no jumping in between, so you have to actually ruin one of your links by cutting it. However, you don't have to ruin it. All you have to do is when you cut, then take a file it down, and now you have a nice little dainty charm. How's about that? Okay, so this is probably about 16.5 inches. And let's go ahead and get these guys all off so I can show you what we're going to do. I wanted to give you a little bit of a preview first. Oh, and then that'll be the test, is if I can get everything on here live. Because this was you have to have your tongue going a certain way in order to get it all to go through. So let me go ahead and take that off, and we'll go through this exactly how I put it together. And maybe I'll just leave that tucked in there. Okay, so I have about, I think one of them is 22 inches and the other is 20 that I just dropped of the garnet. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use 1. And if you want to just have a single strand, and actually, when you look at that, all you got to do is crimp it up and you've got yourself a gorgeous little simple necklace, right?
That does not.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be awesome? And then also too, you can have a nice little rearview mirror dangle off of your rearview mirror in your car. Can you imagine that sparkling up against the sun? Wow. All right. So what I did was I just selected an area and I poked my wire through one open end and out another. Okay. And then I ended up just kind of pulling and resting it in between a few little beads there. So let's see if we can do it live. I cannot believe I just did that, but just go ahead and poke that through. Oh, it worked first time. And if you're having trouble, just go ahead and grab your chain nose pliers. And if they're small, you can kind of get in there a little bit and grab those, or a pair of tweezers. Also, if you don't want it to dangle just off of one, pass it through a few and it gives it a whole different look. So I'm just going to go through one and then I'm going to bring it to the middle. Okay. Bring it to the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and look at the size of the holes of your beads that you're going to be using and just make sure that one of them has a large hole. And these all pretty much have the same size hole. So I'm going to put 2 on one side. I'm going to put 1 on the other. Okay, just like that. Then with the 2, I'm going to take one of them, right? And I'm going to pass back through. When you pass back through, just go ahead and get that pulled. Let's try to make it sure that it's at least a little bit halfway, and it pretty much is. And then just go ahead and pull. And I just pulled until it just kind of rested right in between there. Okay, is everybody with me? And again, you can manipulate things around however you wish. I want the wire to show. If that isn't for everybody, you can go ahead and use the white soft flex and do the same thing, and the white wire will just get absorbed. Then to get your second strand, if you want a second strand, so you can easily just start stringing up your beads, and you can just start stringing them up. And if you just want a single strand, this strand of orange beads, thank you Sarah and Jesse James Beads, is so long that you can make your entire necklace on it. Is it 18 inches or more? It's pretty long.
It is long, and I am not sure how long it is, but it is a lot. And you can see it right there on Jen's mat. You get a lot of beads. We at Jesse James Beads have been, we're known for our bead mixes and our mixed bead strand, but we're like, you need like some really fun, like flashy yet filler yet flashy beads.
Yeah.
So we're starting to bring on really cool glass elements, crystal elements to support our mixes, and that's what this strand is here for this whole.
Well, you guys, your first at bat, if that's where you're going for, you just hit a home run, because these are amazing. Woo! And I love to finish on these. And they're flat, they're flat. They're square, but then they're flat, which makes adding another wire so perfect, because then they can spin, they can do whatever. Now, if you want to add the second one, which that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, and this one is the longer. So this one's probably 22 inches and this one's 20. And I'm going to go ahead and take one end and pass it through that top bead. And that's why it's important to have a bead that will fit all 3 strands. And no problemo here. And go ahead and just pass that through. Okay. Then with your first beads, you can either have both strands going through that first bead or having the in and out, the innie outie. We're going to go innie outie right next to it, because it just, I don't know, I think it just brings in the color of the beads and the strand as well. So then I have these already on there, but I'm going to go ahead and in that second bead, I'm going to add my second strand. And sometimes it can be a little challenging, but the ones that I used, I used about a dozen, none of them gave me any trouble. Okay, and then so just bring it all down. And then also too, because you're doing the every other, you don't have to do every other. You can have it where it's going in and out of each bead. So if you wanted to just pass one through here or go through 2 beads. So if you wanted to have 2 beads where both strands are going through, or two beads where the outside strand is showing, you can do that. That's what's so flexible about this design, is you can really make it whatever you want it to be. And again, I really love exposing. I think every single event that I've done with Softflex, I've done this exposed wire look, and I love it. Can't go wrong with it, right?
It looks so pretty. And, I know we were talking about off camera, all the gals here that are part of the Galentine's Day jewelry making event, this party that y'all are watching right now. Off camera, we had a great email thread going back and forth, like gassing each other up, like saying, yeah, you use those beads, it's going to look so cool. Really a lovely, supportive email thread. And Jennifer said, I think I'm going to use the garnet wire with the orange beads. And I don't know if it was Sarah or Kristen from Softflex. They're like, oh, yes, like garnet looks so good. That red wire looks so good with orange. And I mean, we can see it plain as day right now. It's so sharp.
Yeah, I love it. I love having the pop of white. That pop of white just did, I don't know, it just did something. And I just thought, wow, because the white initially, so in my first design, I was just going to pass through the middle and then add the white and then put another speck of white somewhere in the design. But then I thought, I'm not showing any of this gorgeous wire. I have to show the wire. So we're going to go ahead and continue. That was 1 strand, and then we're going to go 2 strands. And then 1. So this is probably boring for everybody to watch, but you'll just keep on going until you get to your desired length. I guess we can chit chat.
Yeah, we sure can.
Drinking. I wasn't at Rachel's live except for the end. It was good. I saw the ear wires.
Yeah, that's what's great about these events. Like we have the project that our designers are planning on making, but we have a schedule here. So we're going, hour by hour with each designer. So if there's time at the end of the hour, then our designers are whipping out something on the fly, like total bonus material. And that's where you came in on, Jennifer, was our bonus ear wires.
The bonus ear wires. I love it. So now,
yeah, I like anything that has to do with earrings. I'm always a fan of. So anytime our designers get to add on a pair of earrings in addition to the jewelry piece they're making, I personally am never mad at that.
So it's funny you say the earrings, because I have a pair of earrings to send you.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yes, made with your Aspen wedding pack.
Oh God, you were telling me about this. I can't wait to see that.
Yes, I have to get it all in the mail. Okay, so my mat here is about 8 inches wide. It's not very big. I did find a clean one. I couldn't believe it. My other one's starting to get kind of dingy, and I thought, if JJB had a bead mat on their website, we could go grab one. All of us.
If they did. You know what? And I actually have bead mats with Jesse James Beads logo on them that I am meaning to send you, Jennifer, and a couple. They were intent to be Christmas gifts, and they got sent to our warehouse here. And things just got a little busy. And I said to my friend, to Kelly, what are these Jesse James mats doing here? She's like, oh, we didn't get to send them out yet. I'm like, well, everyone's gonna be getting a spring gift. We're gonna have like a spring cleaning. Out with your old mat, in with your new one. And I'll have one with your name on it, Jennifer.
Yeah, because mine never covers, and then I start moving, and then I'm off-centered, and it's like, if I just had a nice, a normal size mat, I wouldn't be doing that. You would never see when I'm off-centered.
Do you know what? How handy though for your mat to be 8 inches long, and for Jen to just go say like, okay, I know my necklace is this long because I've just measured.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I have another mat, and I actually put different. Look what I did. I put measurements on it.
Smart cookie here.
All right.
Here today at Galentine's Day.
That's right. So here's what we have. And I I just love that look. And you can actually, you might have enough beads to make a little bracelet afterwards too. Because like I said, my little 3, almost 4-year-old granddaughter, she chose these beads and said, Grandma, can you make me a bracelet? And so I thought, all right, yep, we'll make you one. So I have about, so this is probably, maybe let's do one more set so that I can get to be about, well, let's see, where's the middle? Let's go here. Yeah, let's just do one more little set. And what I'm going to do is, before I do any of the crimping, I am going to add one side of that chain, that daisy chain. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the ends of the daisy chain. So on one end, you have a little, like a little hole, like a little connector right here, right there. On the other side, you have the other side connection. So
yeah, those holes on the chain are kind of like, they're like rosary style links.
Yeah. And so what I want to do is I want to connect this to my necklace here. I don't know if I can get both strands through. Let's see if we can get both strands through. No problem here. All right.
Nice.
Okay. So there we go. So we're going to have this, and it's just, and if you want to, you can actually make this a whole separate necklace if you want to just add a jump ring and make it that way. But mine's all going to be connected because that's what I'm going to do. All right. Now I'm going to grab one of the, how many crimp tubes? 50? Did she say 50?
I think it's 50. I'm pretty solid. It's 50 crimp tubes.
And that's wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Softflex, for being so generous. Well, because you have enough wire to do some other projects too after you're all done. Because if there's any leftover beads, just make a little smorgasbord, whether it be a sun catcher, whether it be a pair of earrings, whether anything, and you've got yourself some stash. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I put the crimp tube on both strands. Then I'm going to bring just one strand all the way through, sort of ish. And I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lobster clasp on this one so I don't forget on the other side. There's another little tip. If something's going directly to your piece, try and have that be the first one that you do. Then I'm going to pass just one. I'm only passing one through. And I want enough room for my lobster clasp to move around. Then guess what I'm going to bring out? Yes, I'm busting out my magical crimpers because I love these. They are amazing. And with the magical crimper, if nobody has seen them yet, they are one well. So you have one little hole there, not the two. And you start out with the tube and you end up with a little ball. So it gives you a bead-like finish. I love these. They are amazing. All right. Then if you're having trouble with getting your magical crimpers to work, just practice. You can just practice. And sometimes what I have found is adding a third wire kind of beefs it up a little bit as far as what's stuffed inside. And I know that when I first started, I used a third wire. And yeah, sometimes I use 2. I don't have to use 3 anymore. But what you want to do is you want to get that crimp tube right in the center of that one well, and then give it a squeeze. And when you give it a squeeze, you should end up, and it looks like I had success. It looks like we have a square. Then you're just going to flip it over on its side, because I have massacred these crimp tubes before. And then go ahead and crimp down. And then I just start kind of going around the horn here. And I just start twisting around until I feel no tension. And you can actually too, you can see whether your little wires move or not. And you end up with a bead-like finish. Give it the tug test. It's never going anywhere. Now we're going to come in and use our cutters to cut off the excess. And remember I mentioned the 3 strands? Well, this is how I get a 3rd strand. I get a 3rd strand by saving all my little pieces. I don't like waste. I just don't like waste. And I will save these. And I saw, might have been years ago, Sarah, I feel like there was a Softflex or JJB video where all of these little pieces got thrown into like a Christmas ornament ball, and they closed it up and it was clear, and so you could see all the different colors, and it was really cool.
That's cute. That's fun.
Okay, so
That would
then
be a really nice gift to give somebody, like if your friend is a jewelry maker, which I mean, I know we've all got jewelry maker friends here on our Galentine's Day event. How cute would that be to save all your Softflex wire scraps, or maybe like some JJBs? But I love the idea of the Softflex wire scrap and put it in a clear ornament. That's cute. Nice. Someone needs to gift that to Kristen Fagan and or Sarah Ayler next year for Christmas. You got a whole year to save your Softflex.
Okay, so now, when we put this necklace on, can I show you what it's going to kind of look like? It's going to look like that. And isn't that cute?
Yeah. Yes.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So that's how we're going to work this side. And we're going to go ahead, and on this side here, I started with it being out. So one strand is out, one strand is in. And I'm going to do that on this side as well. So we're going to go one out and then one in. Now, here's another tip, which I probably learned from someone watching this, is that nothing that I came up with on my own, is to stagger your wires. And sometimes that makes it a little easier to get in a bead, especially if it's a little tight, because then what you can do is you take that other side and you just kind of form it around your finger to give it a little bit of tension to where it pulls the wire to one side, and you can very easily just grab that and put that on there. Again, though, with these beads, no problem.
That's a very handy tip.
Yeah. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So we got to make sure we have 24. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'm sorry, I'm counting for everybody. 14, that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We'll see if we have enough. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23. Okay, we need one more. I try to count out prior to, just because then I don't have to worry about going through a whole long strand. And then also too, and then I won't forget. How many times have you just kept on stringing, and you're like, oh, dang, I got to take that apart. But if you do this in advance, then you won't have that. Look how much we still have.
Wowzers.
Yes. So we still have 8, probably around 11 inches still. Amazing.
No way. I don't think so, Jennifer, because, well, oh, yeah. Oh, no, there's a lot of beads.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think so. Count again. You got 2 kids because you're a designer. I'm like, no, wait. There's actually quite a few beads here. Oh gosh, they're pretty too.
Aren't they gorgeous? That is my favorite finish. So does everybody remember beads by the pound? Not even just beads by the dozen that you can get at jessiejamesbeads.com right now, but beads by the pound. Oh, they had the red. Oh, it was so gorgeous. And I love the red faceted beads with this beautiful finish. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. I loved beads by the pound so much that I might have gotten 6 pounds.
Oh my gosh, Maria's so sweet here. Maria says that she's getting so excited for her first kit to buy, and she says that she is hooked. Welcome to the beady side, Maria. We are here for the bead, sparkle, and the fun and the friendship. Yes, glad you're here.
as I'm just sitting here beating along. Who else? Who's beating along or who's just watching?
I'm
I like
curious
to
to know.
watch.
So raise your hand, show of hands, give a comment to say, I'm beating with you, Jen. So fun to have a nice stringing project that you can bead along. Like we do a lot of events at Jesse James Beads. There's wire wrapping, there's seed beads, there's things like that'll pop up in summer camp or beads and blooms or what have you. And you really have to like pay attention to the video, and it's hard to be
Yeah.
like you almost have to go back and watch it on replay so you can like start, stop, rewind, fast forward. But when we're doing a project like this, like nice, easy breezy stringing, you can totally beat along with it. You can totally like beat it with your gals, but at home. It's great.
This is a gorgeous kit. Beautiful kit. So Maria, if this is your first kit, you pretty much struck gold again. I say that I think with all of them. On my YouTube channel, when I'm doing your unboxings, like, oh, this is my favorite magical mystery bead box. And then the next month, no, this one's my favorite.
Yeah.
This is my favorite bead strand.
Magic Mystery Bead Box is so much fun. And Jennifer's got a great YouTube channel. If y'all are enjoying this like beautiful beading and just Jennifer, you're so relaxed, just fun to hang out with. Like if you guys are enjoying this right now, Jen, please tell us where can we watch Jennifer Miller outside of this Galentine's Day jewelry making party event?
Well, you can watch me on my YouTube channel, and I have, I was just going to say, I have Galentine's. No, it is under Jennifer Miller, 1 N, 1 F, and you can find me there. On Instagram, I am Bella Rain Jewelry Company, and Bella Rain, my granddaughter is Rain. And so that's how Bella Rain came about, because my mom would always say, oh, my beautiful daughter, talking about me. Then when I had a little granddaughter for her, she's like, oh, my beautiful granddaughter, my beautiful granddaughter. Well, unfortunately, she never got to meet Miss Rain. So I wanted something in the name to reflect my mom. And so her name is Rebecca. And so I thought of Becca Rain, right? And then I thought, no, my mom always said beautiful. And what's beautiful? Bella. So that's how Bella Rain was born.
I love that story. That's beautiful.
Okay. So now we're at the end, and this is where you can manipulate. So if you have your stuff all strung out like this, and that's what I was making sure, because I had an extra bead, so I must have not counted correctly in the 4 times that I counted. But you can, with this being like having the innie and outie, you can really change your mind up even midway of how you want this to go. Because if you remember, we had that second strand that was added just to the top, so it's not going in and out of here to add any more, I don't know, not length, but if you wanted to make things a little different, you have some room to do that. And I kind of like how that's all spaced out. It just, I don't know, I can't wait to put this on. Then, like I said, I cut this to length. And then what you can do is, I was trying to make it to where it wasn't going to be all twisted. I'm really weird that way. And sometimes you just can't avoid it, but we will try not to avoid it, or try to avoid it being twisted. And so now I'm going to go ahead and just add that to the end there. And let's see if this will go through. It went through on the other side, maybe not on this side. So let's do that little trick where I am holding that down to try and get that in there. And if not, we can always trim the end. And also too, my eyesight is not the best, and this is a little far away from me. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I have, let me show you. I keep a magnifying glass too.
Oh, Candy. Jennifer, all the tricks.
It does go through my, it sits on top of my little ring here. So let's go ahead and cut it on an angle because I feel like that's a blunt cut.
Mm.
So let's go ahead and cut it on the angle. And try it that way. Guess what? I think it worked by cutting it on the angle. I think. Oh, we're going. No, we're not. Okay. Well, okay. It's still fine. Okay. So there we go. I went through both on this side, but only one on this side. And that's quite all right. That's just the way it's going to be. All right. So but that's going to bother me. Let's turn it around a little bit. Do certain things bother, or is it just me being extra? You know, like with things being twisted or things being awkward. I don't know.
Oh, Jennifer, I think that you're preaching to the choir when when we're working with like small parts, you know what I mean? When you're working with small parts, you're like very detail focused. So if something is like, no one would ever notice it from like far away, but you notice it because you're working with your hands. She's got her magnifier glass out, for gosh sakes. So like,
that's
seeing tiny things.
Yes, absolutely. And I will notice. So now we're going to go ahead and pass that through. Now on this side is going to be our connector. Now, if anybody notices that, then, oh man, if anybody can notice that, then they're standing too close to you. If they're seeing something that's so fine like that, then they're standing too close to you. All right. So now I put on my two strands, pass my two strands through, and this side is actually going to be the side that our lobster clasp is going to connect to. So it doesn't have to be too large. It could be probably the same as this side here. And I'm actually going to pick the smaller side just so then now I have a larger piece, and I have an idea for that too. Okay, so let's just go ahead and pass that back through the crimp tube and make sure everything's all even. Let's try and get it about the same. Oh, that's about the same there, except for this. Let's pull it through just a little bit. And again, if it's not exact, it's okay-ish. All right, so now I have that extra strand hanging out, just hanging out there, waiting to be crimped on. And then this is going to be our connector. We're busting out the magical crimpers and go ahead and add our tube right into the middle. If you see it poking out on one side, then you're not in the middle, and it's going to be very funky. Trust me, I've done it before, actually several times. And then you have a little square, and you can see that the four corners, if you've done it right, you'll see the four corners are all pinched. Then turn it on its side and make sure you don't have any pieces hanging out. And then just go ahead and then start pushing around here. And just wait. You see how when I go to crimp down, it moves? That means my crimp tube is not ready. I still need to be crimping. And there we go. Now there's no tension. And there we have that bead-like finish. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. So now we're going to go ahead and come in. And we are going to trim that piece off. And yes, we will save it. I know it's only about 3/4 of an inch, but that's okay. We're going to save it.
It's going to be perfect for your Christmas ornament that you make for Kristen Fagan.
For Kristen, yes.
For
Sarah.
Yes.
And then I'm going to come in on the other side. And what I do is I just kind of pull on it to where my cutters are going as close down to that crimp tube as possible. And then I'm not going to be cutting any of the other wires. I feel like it just kind of takes it away. So there you go.
Wow. Gosh, it's so pretty.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so cute. I love the double layer.
Yeah, and it almost looks like triple strand because you have these kind of coming in and out. It just looks kind of tripled up.
See that. I do see that. That's neato.
Isn't that neato? Kind of groovy.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I like it so much. Oh, Deb Floros is chiming in. She says this project is amazing. It
Yay!
is.
Hi, Deb. Yeah, so there you go. We have our necklace, which also means we have time for another project. Do we? Please?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Let's do it. Let's do it. Bonus
Okay.
time, guys. It's the bonus.
Bonus, bonus, bonus. All right. So I do not sing. I cannot believe I just did that.
You're just with your gal. She's feeling free.
I am. Well, I'm just so excited because, like I said, I didn't put this together first. I just did that very little bit that you guys saw. And I did not know if it would turn out or not. So part of this is like this wonderful surprise that it did turn out to be exactly what I had intended. And yeah. And I guess if it had not, I might have never disclosed it. But I'm kind of a self-reporter, so I probably would have told on myself. All right. So there we have our necklace. What did I say? I said that we have enough for probably a bracelet, right? Also, guess what else we have still? We still have some chain links, right?
Ooh.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you do it, because you're going to have to, you kind of waste every other one, which that's okay. But we saw a way to not waste every other one. So what I'm doing is, this is the side that has the loop that is going front to back. So it's going front to back. And then down at the very bottom, there's the other little loop or connection. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our cutter tool, and we're going to go right up against that little enamel flower petal, and make sure that your other side moves so that you know you're not cutting on that, and go ahead and just cut. Then do that on the other side. Come over to the other side. Make sure you're not, make sure you have some wiggle. You see the wiggle over there? And then cut. And there you go. Bring in your file. Bring in your little file and just file that down. Right? Okay, so file. So we filed that down. I will do better once I have my my magnifying glass and I can see. So we have one there. So really, you're not wasting any. I misspoke when I said you would be wasting some. But so now you have a little charm for your bracelet, right? I still have 4 more. Well, guess what we can do? We can make a pair of earrings too.
Wow, this is super.
I know. This is the kit that never ends. So the first timer, again, now you're going to see all these little fun things. It's like the kit never ends. But now I have cute little charms that all I have to do is just file down the little nubby that sticks out. I do this with the rhinestone chain. You know your guys' rhinestone, the crystal, it's round crystals and chain, and it came in gunmetal and silver. And even rose gold, because I made some for your Mojo last year. And wow. I would use that. I would cut them off and then file down the ends so that you have something. So we have a couple of charms for earrings. Then we're going to cut one more off for our bracelet. Okay. And you still have 2 more. So if you want to make 2 pairs of earrings, or what you could do is make it a double drop like that. Very cute. Okay, so what we're going to do is, guess what we have? We have scraps. Wow. Okay, we have scraps, and we have 50 crimp tubes.
Wow.
So what you can do is you can thread one of these through here, okay? And you can simply just go ahead and pass your crimp tube through and make it just a round loop, right? and you can make one crimp tube down here and one crimp tube down here if you don't want it to move around. But also too, what you can do is you can add some beads. So if you want to add some beads to the side, oops, he just fell off, or she, I don't know. It's either he or she. And you can add your beads and make your earring that way. But what we're going to do is we are going to grab the longer piece. I'm going to pass that through like that. Then, and again, you can make these as long as you want. I can always grab more wire because there's plenty of wire. You get 40 feet of wire, 40 feet.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a larger piece of wire. And let's go here. So I'm going to grab, let's see here. Let's grab, these are probably just a hair short. So let's grab a little bit more. I have about, so it's 8, so it's probably about 5 inches, 5.5 inches of wire. And pass that back through again, like how I had done. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring a bead through. And if you have any other, here we go. You guys ready for this? I had reserved the little crystal rondelles too. Crystal rondelle. And another bead. Oh, we have matching earrings. Oh my goodness.
These are so cute. I love when we get to bonus round of these event projects because it's like our designers are designing more or less on the fly. And I feel like you guys are like, your creative engines are like really going after just like teaching a project. And then the bonus project ends up like just as good as the first one, like sometimes even better. Like, look how cute those are.
I am in love with these. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our 2 crimps, and you already have ear wires that Rachel showed you how to make.
Oh, this is so cute.
Oh, here I am saying I know about my own design. I'm not full of myself. I'm really not full of myself, but these are really cute. I like these. Okay.
It's really cute. But I like that you just said that you could use them with the ear wires that Rachel just taught us how to make.
Yep.
It's a Gal Pal collab.
It is a Gal Pal collab for sure. Now, what you can do is you can push this down as much as you want. Oh, I thought I put it in there. Okay, so you can do that. And then I have another little trick. So again, you can also too, if you want, you can add another crimp tube down here because they're bead-like finishes, right? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm sorry if anybody's beading along. This is why watch then bead. All right, I get you, Sarah. I get you. Let's go ahead and do that first. And what we're going to do is, here's another little tricky trick because you're like, I never get the same size loop. Okay, well, the one thing too is people aren't going to notice unless it's drastic. However, though, grab your Sharpie, put that on there. And if that's how long you want your loop to be, just connect it, just get it just like that, right? And there's your loop. There's your size that you want. Okay. Then you want that 3rd strand to go through because it just makes you feel better, right? It does. I don't know. It helped me when I was learning. Okay. So I have my strand, my 3rd strand. Now I can come in with my magical crimper, crimp down, and then go around and go around. And this just provides a stopper so that your beads are actually sitting on something. You don't have to do that. This is optional. Okay, so now we have our little bead-like finish there. Ooh, and you can actually have that little thing dangle down too, and it can work in your design. Okay, go ahead and do that. And then now I have this other third piece sitting here, and I'm okay with that because it can just be hidden in your beads. So go ahead and pass through bead. And oh, I don't know if a third one will fit. Nah. Oh, wait, it did. Oh,
like butter.
wow. Okay, so here we go here. And I'm going to trim that just a hair so that it doesn't, just a hair, so that I can fit in that crystal rondelle. Okay. You guys with me? You see where my vision is?
Yes.
There. Then now you don't have anything to worry about getting it the same, with your beads moving up and down. And yeah, kind of cool, huh? All right. So now let's grab our crimp tube and you'll see one side, I didn't have to make one side exactly the same. So you don't have to come down the middle when you're putting this little guy on. And go ahead and come back around, and you could pass it back through if you want. I usually do for bracelets, but I'm okay with this not passing back through. Okay, so now let's get, where are my nails? I always have cuts in the middle of my nails from tug testing and doing stuff. All right, so now you have a nice size loop at the top. You can make that as large as you want. You're just going to put your ear wire on there. Then go ahead and have everything in place. Everything looks good. Crimp down and go around. You can get as close as you want to your bead. We know that it would pass through a third time. Okay, and I still feel some tension. And there we go. Check that out. Let's go ahead and get this trimmed off. I still have a little remnants on there. Just be very careful not to cut unintended wires. Probably because I have 18 strands going through those beads. Okay. And then go ahead and, okay. And of course you would get it a little more tight than how I got it, but how's that?
Looks great. She cute.
Cute little earrings.
I love it. And it really does match the necklace so perfectly. Can you
Yes.
see each other?
There we go. Check that out. How's that?
So pretty.
Then when you are making your bracelet, you still have 2 more charms, or you can have the long dangle with they're still connected, and connected to one side of your bracelet, one of the ends. I'd probably do it on the end where your clasp is, so that you're not fighting it over on the connection part.
Sure,
yes, or you can make the Sarah Ayler jump ring. The Sarah Ayler jump ring is.
You can show us? Yes, this is like triple threat bonus. Awesome.
This is awesome. 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 Okay. So, and again, this is called the Sarah Ayler jump ring because I saw Sarah do this and it was amazing. It was life-changing. All right. So we have our little tiny piece, right? Let me move all this other stuff. I don't know what everybody's seeing. And see how I get off my mat just starts.
Oh, you're doing great, Jennifer. It's hard. Everyone in the crowd, it's hard to stay on camera. It's hard to keep your fingers in the right place especially when you're doing it live. But Jennifer, you are just nailing it out of the park.
Nice. Thank you. So I have one jump ring. I have one crimp tube over on one side, and then I'm going to take this other end and pass it back through in the opposite direction. And of course, my fingers are all in the way. So sorry, but You'll see it after I'm done. Well, yeah, after I pass it through. Okay, so see, they're kind of going like that. Okay, now what you do, magical. And if you want a third strand, just add a third strand in there. If not, you guys are going to see what my 2-strand crimps look like. Okay, then you make it as large as you want. And the thing with these crimpers is that you can kind of guide it because you've got your little crimp tube in there and you can kind of guide it along. And then go ahead and give it a little squeeze. Okay, and you have your 4 corners. Okay, then you just start going round and you keep going around and around and adjust and around and adjust and around. I think it's all done. Then it's not over, guys. Here we go. Then you just give it a trim. Give it a trim. Wow, look at that. See, now you have a dangle.
Hey, oh my gosh, so the Ayler O-ring. I love it. I love it.
Yes. Oh, did someone say the Ayler O-ring?
I did. Me. Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So there you go. You would just add that onto one side. You could have done that on the necklace as well. So you guys have learned how to make ear wires, jump rings, earrings, necklace, bracelet, and guess what? The fun's not over. You get 2 more designs.
Real quick question from Maria. I like this one. Maria asks, do you have to connect it to the piece first? For your jump ring, you would have to connect it to the piece, correct?
Yes. Yes.
It's like a soldered loop almost.
Yes, it is. It is like a soldered loop. So yeah, you would connect it first. Because once you've done the Ayler squeeze, you're done.
It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. So
And Floros has just joined us and she's shaking her head in the background. No way, that crimp's not for you.
And it just looks like a little bead on a jumper. It just adds a little bit of, little texture.
It's cute. She's cute. Aww.
Is Deb gonna come in?
Yes, she is. Jennifer, this was so cool. Like, my hat's off to you with this beautiful, beautiful project. And you're just
Thank you.
fun to watch and learn from. Thanks for all the bonus material too.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I loved it. My surprise and my excitement is always genuine. And I am really always this excited. And I'm actually trying to contain myself. So, yeah.
Well, no need to contain yourself. This is if you're just tuning in, we are on we just finished hour number 2 of our Galentine's jewelry making party with Jesse James Beads and Sawflex Company. We are doing like marathon binge-worthy jewelry making. We just learned from Rachel Malice. We just learned from Jennifer Miller. And right now I am going to welcome to our Gal Pal party, the amazing Deb Floros. Hi, Deb.
Hello.
This is fun.
Jennifer, those projects, amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm putting mine on now and it's not going to come off.
Yes. Deb, thanks so much for coming to join us. I've been seeing you chitting and chatting over in the comments. Thanks for that too. This is a day for us. Like, this is a day for us gals to pal around and do something that we love, and that's jewelry making. So I'm in love with today. And Deb, I'm so happy to have you here right now.
100%. This is our day. And I hope that everybody else is enjoying the day, making some things, just sharing some time with friends. This is a great event. I love this. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, jewelry making is really fun with friends. And it's great that we can be afar from each other, but still get to create with one another. Like, I know that there's been so many beautiful friendships that have come out of the creative communities that we have online, Jennifer, Deb, myself right here, like all of us have become friends through jewelry making. And I like that in itself is a blessing. It's just, I'm glad to know you girls.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Well, Deb, you get to take over, and I cannot wait to see what you make with the beads. It's going to be amazing. I already know it. I already know it.
Jennifer, thanks so much. Thank you for sharing these great projects, your incredible energy with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Softflex, for providing us with all the wire. It's amazing, all the crimp tubes and all the little findings. And JJB, thank you for another amazing kit packed full of goodies.
Thanks, Jen. Happy Galentine's Day, my gal pal.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay. Well, Deb, you look fabulous. You look like a Cupid angel with your little hair. Deb just look great? She really does. Always, Deb loves jewelry designs. And that is, I couldn't think of a better fitting brand name that you have given yourself, Deb, than the one that you have. So Deb of Deb Loves Designs is here. Deb Floros, welcome. It's so great to hang out with you always.
Thank you for having me. This is my favorite time of year. I love Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day. My brand is about the love, even though I spell it a little bit different. My brand is that way because I love making jewelry. I love beads and beading supplies. And so, yeah, the love this time of year is abundant. I enjoy it.
You know, the love that you have for jewelry making and beads and just like our community, I feel like the energy that you put out there helps us all to feel it even more. Like you're present in our jewelry making groups, you're watching videos, you're commenting, you're like giving like kudos to people when they're sharing the pictures of their jewelry. Like Deb, you truly have such a lovely energy about you, and you make all of us feel so good. Like you really spread the love that Deb loves jewelry designs through our community, and I couldn't be more happy to have you as a friend and to be here with you right now.
Oh, well, thank you. It's totally genuine. This is the life that I want to live, kind of sharing what I do and seeing what everybody else does and just trying to be kind and loving. And, that's something that I feel is really important. There's so much ick in the world. And I feel like if I can do something to change that, I'm one person and maybe somebody else does it because they see it from me. And then we get rid of some of the ick in the world.
Real ripple effect. You know what I mean? We're dropping a sparkly stone into a pond here and the ripples are real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that. Oh, Deb, that is so great. And I'm like, you always come up with really cool projects to teach. And they always have such a power to them. Like, so for everyone watching, we have the bead kit, the Galentine's Day bead kit from Jesse James Beads, the supply kit from Softflex. And all of us gals, of course, are like chatting in the background, planning for this event. It's like, okay, you guys got your beads, you guys got your supply kit. All right, who's going to take one? Who's going to take what? And Deb was the first one that said, I'm going to take this bead from this strand and this mix, and I'm going to be doing this. So I can't wait to see what this creative prowess has come up with for us to create today.
Well, I hope I don't disappoint because it's a really, really simple project. But I think what struck me the most is just the beads themselves. So everything that I chose is so luminous and it just kind of epitomizes all of the parts that we've talked about. The love, the friendship, the creativity, all of that. So all of this sparkle and brightness is really what speaks for itself. The projects are simple. So we're taking a little simple break here with my projects. And we're just going to enjoy the beads and all of the beautiful things we have to work with.
I love that so very much. And everyone, if you're enjoying the beads, you can grab this kit. There's a few more left. I think there's a few more over at jessiejamesbeads.com, and you can get all a massive abundance of these crimps and the 4 wire colors Softflex provided to us, plus ear wires over at softflexcompany.com. So don't snooze on that if you're enjoying watching these videos. I personally am ready for another round of jewelry making. I'm like binging and like in it, and it feels really great. So for anyone that's been watching the whole time, feel free to, grab some water and get a snack, but don't go away for too long, because I know Deb's project is going to be so awesome. It's always fun to learn with you.
Well, I'll turn my camera around, and I have a little, I'm going to actually turn it off while I turn it around. And I have a little bonus project on my table just for show and tell, Sarah.
Yes.
So let me flip this down.
Like the bonus material has been so great. Oh my gosh, yes.
So so I wanted to share this because I love to join your secret stash sales, and I know these hearts are sold out, but I got this wood heart in one of the last sales, and also these amazing wood beads with the silver inlay. And this has been my favorite necklace of the season. So
that's so cool.
It's been a fun thing to wear. So I just thought I would show folks, like, sometimes when you join those secret stash sales, the things you can find. So
I'm telling you, I'm sitting here at the bead warehouse right now, and we are like chock full of goodies. We do a live sale once a month, and it's like the stuff that comes out of the woodwork. It's like, man, I don't even know when we got that thing, but gosh almighty, it's cool. I love that you, I remember when you posted that, Deb, on your social channels, that necklace that you just showed us right there. And my heart just like leapt like through the roof, just seeing something that you had gotten from us, like something special from a live sale. And it went on to like Deb's branded page. I felt very special. So thank you.
Well, I couldn't resist. Anytime I see the heart things and all the cool things that are available, I just go crazy. So we're going to make a bracelet and some earrings, and again, simple project. And so I think I messed everybody up. So Sarah talked about how when all the projects, when the emails came out, like, what are you guys going to choose? Well, I couldn't help it. Like, I started to grab little bits and pieces from everything. And the first thing I had to pick was this amazing big heart. And if I could steal a term from Jennifer Miller, it's a chunkamunka heart. It's a big heart. So that got me, but I didn't want to take away the opportunity for someone else to use the smaller heart. So we're going to be using that. And then there's some really beautiful luminous beads in this mix. And I think that caught my attention too. So there's some beads that really complemented the heart. And then the little saucer beads, the squatty bicone UFO looking beads, those also really came into play. So we're going to take a little bit of all of these themes and we're going to put them together. And so let me grab, so this is the Soft Flex I chose, the purple amethyst. And this color is so beautiful with all of the colors that we're using for this project. So you could use any color. I think we've all said that so far. You could use any Soft Flex color and it would work. I mean, all of the curated colors for this workshop are perfect for any of these things. And so what I've got, I'll show you the specific pieces. Here's the heart. Like, oh my gosh, this heart is absolutely gorgeous. So it's a nice size, perfect for a bracelet focal, even for somebody that has a small wrist. And then I've got all of these little goodies, and let me dump them out here and I'll show you what what specifically is going to go. So I don't know what this shape is called and if it will focus. Yeah.
I
To
want
me,
to say that it's like an Artemis, but it really isn't. It's not quite Artemis shaped. Like Artemis was one of Swarovski's bead shapes, and it's so conical. It almost looks like a bead cap. Like that is such a cool bead glass shape. I love it.
so I think when I said I was going to use them, I called them like bullets. Like, I mean, not to take something negative, but like they almost look like a bullet in a way, but just kind of chopped off. So, but
Yeah.
the finish and the color, oh my God, like they're just amazing. And then I don't know what this shape is either, but oh my Lord, I fell in love with these. Like these guys are so unusual. What, Sarah, do you know what these are called? Because they're amazing.
Those are so cool too. That's what I'm telling you. We are like, this is my mission, is to find all of the cool glass shapes and bring them to everyone. Yeah, they're like a 3D arrowhead almost. I don't even know. We can name them whatever we want.
So maybe someone in the crowd that's watching should come up with a name for these, because I couldn't, and I don't even know. I think in my email I called them the odd shaped beads because I don't know what they are. Like they don't look like anything else. So
Heather's got a good idea, actually. Heather's calling them the rocket top shape, but maybe she might be talking about the cones with the rocket top shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would love for somebody to give us a name for those, because they are fabulous. And Sarah, these would be great in the future in other colors and all of that. So yes.
The suggestion box is open. Any ideas any ideas that anyone has from our gal pals and our guy friends watching, just you let us know. We are happy to oblige or at least do some looking.
Yes. Then there's these amazing faceted ovals, and look at the finish on those. They are just divine. So like, see how I'm starting to kind of put together such a soft and luminous palette. I'm in love. I'm crazy in love. These are just rounds with a little bit of AB finish. And of course, those go really nicely, tying back to the heart, playing into all that luminousness. And then all of our little tiny saucers. I think Rachel tried to use all of these, but she didn't, right? So you should have some of these left over. So we're just going to use a few in this project as well. So this is what I'm using. Now, I did grab some seed beads from my stash. You don't have to use seed beads. You could always throw in a couple more of your little saucers, but I like to add a little bit of seed bead action for some dimension and to get some metallic tone into my design. So I've got size 11s. They are just a silver color, like a antique silver color. So this is what I'm going to string up, and I got to look at my notes because I don't remember exactly what I did, but let me see. Yes. Okay. So we're just going to do simple stringing. So we're going to put on actually, let me move these guys out of the way. We're going to start with one of our rounds, and then we're going to take a seed bead, and then we're going to add one of our little saucer crystals, and then another seed bead. And then I'll show you kind of how these things are looking next to each other. So we've got a little luminous lineup so far. Then from there, whatever we're calling these,
I've got some names in the crowd, actually, if I may. We've got fluffy triangles. We've got love nugs. Those are my favorites. but they're not briolet. They're not briolets because they're not top drilled. So
No.
they're love nugs.
Oh my gosh. So they're like a crystal McNugget, like a
Yeah.
crystal. Yeah. Because,
Oh,
the McNuggets are never like the same shape. They're always like a kind of a weird shape in the
that's like a
package.
Happy Meal to me.
Oh, now I'm hungry. Dang it. Okay. All right. So now we're going to add another one of our little crystal rounds. So I'm doing kind of the smaller beads at this end. And actually, no, I did a crystal here. Sorry. Doing another crystal. So trying to get those crystals in for some level of continuity. Then another seed bead. And then another one of these rounds, which the picture here won't do them justice. So for those of you who do have the kits, those little round beads are some wicked powerful little round beads. They've got some finish on them that is to die for. All right, then I'm going to introduce the oval. So we've got all different shapes, but all of these colors and shapes play so nicely together. So I'm adding another one of the crystals, and I'll show you in a second how these all look together. So get the camera to pop over. Yes, so look at the luminousness, the different tones and shapes. So beautiful. That's why I say, like, this is a simple project, but the beads are not simple. They're just not. So then I'm going to grab another one of my nugs and another seed bead. And then let's see, another crystal, another seed bead, and then I'm going to introduce that little bullet shape. And in my design, I think I decided to put the flat end towards the center, but you could certainly do it differently. So you could flip that around. That's the thing about this shape is you could do so many different things with this. It would look cool bumped up to another bead as a bead cap too, even though it doesn't fit over a bead. It could act as a sort of a quasi bead cap. And then one more crystal, and then another seed bead, and then we've got this. So just crazy about this heart. I just couldn't love this more than I do. So I'm going to put that. Now look at this string of beauty. It's just stunning, stunning, stunning bead mix. Like this mix of beads is just perfect. I'm crazy about it.
Deb, you keep calling this the luminous lineup of beads. And like that name really fits. Like that's as good as Fluff Nugget. Like that's just. I believe our friends are saying that our nugget bead is actually called a trillion, and I do.
Oh,
I love that too. Worth $1 trillion in my eyes.
Okay, I completely agree with that. I'll have to remember that because now nug is like in my brain.
The love nug.
The love nug. That's great. Whoever came up with that one, kudos. Love that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, Sherry Miller. Thanks, Sherry.
Thanks, Sherry. That's awesome.
She spelled that. Says sorry to keep like interjecting with the banter here. Sherry spelled love nug LUV, by the way. Deb.
I love you, Sherry. LUV, love you.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. So, so this is really, like I said, simple, but, oh, you know what? I skipped one of my little saucers. So such a simple project, but the fact that we've got the purple wire going through all of these luminous beads, that adds another layer of interest. I find that that's one of the things I love to do with Softflex is when you've got beads that are somewhat transparent, have kind of a fun glass finish on them, it just adds to the beauty of whatever it is that you're working with. So that's something I enjoy doing with Softflex. So almost strung on here, and I'm looking at, and I missed a couple of the crystals. So because this is a simple project, I'm gonna go back. Sorry, guys. Sometimes it's the simple ones that, for me, I have a tendency to not get right. So I want to use these little saucers, these little crystals, because they're so lovely. And when I saw the bag of them, Sarah, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all the mass of these little saucers. They're so beautiful. They look.
Sometimes you just need some extra sparkle, you know.
Yes. And I'm not going to reveal anything, but I have seen some other of the crystal lovelies that you have coming, and let's just say I'm bowled over. They are amazing.
Yay.
So almost strung up, you guys. So, and I'm seeing over here, I did the same thing over here with missing a bead. So I'm going to grab a bead stopper, and then I'm going to cut my Softflex. Find my cutters and get my Softflex out of the way there. And I missed another one of those little crystals, so I'm just going to go back over here and drop that in and get that right. I strung a necklace this morning for a project, and I got all the way done with it and took some pictures of it and put it away. And then I looked at the picture and said, oh my God, I'm missing a bead. I know everybody does it. It's always like, oh no, especially when it's a necklace and you have to restring a necklace. It's not fun. This is an easy one to restring. Okay, so we have our beautiful luminous bracelet with our beautiful Softflex. And because Softflex is so beautiful, there is no need for us to do any covering up of the wire at the ends. So a lot of times when I finish my bracelets, I will use like French wire, or I might use seed beads or something to cover up the end of my wire. But in the case of Softflex, I don't do that because the wire is part of the design. So I've got my crimp tube, and again, props to Softflex. All the love to Softflex for their amazing crimps. We've all said it. So just putting my crimp right down against that last bead. And I'm going to start with the side that has the lobster. And I'm just going to create a loop there. I'm going to go through my first bead, and I want to have a colorful loop visible. So I want to have a nice colorful loop and room for that lobster to move around. And I'm holding on to my wire. I'm leaving a space, and I'm holding on to my wire, and I'm going to crimp. Now, I'm the only one so far that's not using the magical crimper, because true confessions, I am terrible at the magical crimper. I need to learn, I need to watch the videos from today, like go back and watch so that I can see what those ladies did. And I think I've already asked Sarah Ayler to give me a private lesson on how to use the magical crimper, because I'm so bad at it. I always
I like
massacre.
that. It's good that you use the other one though, just in case you don't have the magical crimper at home yet and you want to use your regular crimper. Deb's going to show us how it's done.
Yeah, so it's just it, and it looks beautiful. I mean, we've got seed beads in here for some metallic. So the very end of the bracelet is a crimp, and it looks almost like one of the seed beads, and then you've got your silver at the end. So honestly, it's perfect continuity. And that crimp, if somebody, another Jennifer Miller statement from today, if someone's that close to you, and they say, "Oh my gosh, you didn't use the magical crimper," well, then that person is probably somebody like that knows too much about jewelry making. So most of the time, you're probably not going to run into somebody that sees that. So for our other end, I'm going to grab another one of my little crimps, and I'm just going to create a loop at this end. So just going to put my crimp on and then drop and I want my bracelet to have some movement. So you never want to put that last kind of crimp onto your bracelet when it's all straight. You don't want it to be rigid when you're putting it together. So I've got everything all cinched down. So I'm letting gravity kind of take this. And then I'm just going to pull the wire till I get a nice size loop. And because, again, this wire is so beautiful, I want to have a nice, visible, pretty loop to attach my lobster to. And I want it to be similar in size to the one at that end, but a little bit bigger because you also want this to be easy to put on. So I'm going to hold on to my wire against the beads, and I'm just going to give it a normal crimp with a normal crimper. And let the camera, there we go. It's got a regular old crimp, but it looks nice. And then we're going to cut off our excess. And I like to, when I'm doing this, I like to bend my wire like away and pull that bead away. You should have enough play in your bracelet to be able to do that. And then I trim my excess. And now we have this beautiful luminous bracelet with all the amazing, gorgeous beads.
Wow.
So, I mean, this couldn't be more simple, you guys, but the beads are what make this an amazing, amazing project. So simple, clear the palette kind of project. Get your easy bracelet going.
Love that.
So I thought we could do like a pair of earrings too, Sarah, or at least we'll make one earring too.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I like Deb, that you just hit the nail on the head. I gotta just like ooh and ah over this bracelet really quick. Because like Deb just like she got the beautiful beads, and she did some simple stringing. And I love what you just called that right there. Deb just called this a palette cleanser. Like, as in, maybe you're feeling a little like, if you feel like creative in a rut or you don't know what to make next, like there's so much great education and inspiration online. You just don't know what to pick. So, but like the best thing you can do is to just make something, get your tools out, string something, and let the beads do the talking, Deb. And you hit the nail on the head. It's gorgeous and great inspiration too.
I felt like, and maybe others feel this way too. Like sometimes you put a lot of pressure on yourself to come up with this like super interesting, crazy, project. And sometimes you just want to do something simple. And when you have such beautiful materials, beautiful beads, beautiful wire, don't put the pressure on yourself to make something like crazy and over the top. These beads are incredible. The shapes, the colors, the finishes, and the soft flex is really, really gorgeous. And again, you could use any of the soft flex colors here. I could see even the white looking really cool. Where's the white? Even if we did white through like some of these beads, these really super, like, look at that. So, I mean, any of the colors would look amazing with these beads. So yeah, so I'm also going to do simple earrings, simple. But I want to show you a little something interesting. So this is what I would call like a totem earring, like just beads stacked on top of each other. But there's a little something different about this, and that's that this is wire. This is not a head pin, but we're going to make a little coiled wire head pin for ourselves to do a stacked totem kind of earring like this. So if you don't have head pins, you don't have the right head pins, oh my gosh, have you ever gone into your like head pins and said, why don't I have the exact head pin that I need? So you don't always need head pins. You can use wire to do this very thing. And again, I'm using these same beads to go with this bracelet. You have enough to make an earring and match your bracelet. So that's what we're going to do. So let me show you how to do this little trick to make yourself a little head pin. So I'm using some 22 gauge wire, and I'm going to warm that up because Gem Hawk says to. And I really try to listen to Jen, even though Jen, I'm sure, is horrified by what I do with wire. But I've got a piece of wire, and I'm going to set my wire aside. And what I'm going to use is this little pliers. It's like a bail making plier. This is made by Beadalon, and this was marketed to use with memory wire. And it is amazing for memory wire, but it's also a great bail making plier. It's small. So if you have like a larger bail making plier, I can show you another one that I've got, that just to give you an example, if I can actually get it out of my tool. So this is like a big one, right? This is what a big bail making plier looks like. But this little guy, it's like the little baby sister of this one. So I like this because it's got such a tiny barrel here that you can make some really cool little coils. So the trick to this, for starters, is to take your wire and literally get it to sit so that it's not sticking out. So I'm hoping you can see that that wire is not sticking out this way. So it's just kind of sitting between the barrels. And I push it around, and then I want to reposition my pliers a little bit. Once I've got it coiled, the first one, then I'm going to coil it, kind of pushing the wire with my finger, or holding the wire with my finger. I'm just twisting the plier. And then you've got this cute little coil. And that's going to act as a little cushion or a little seat for your beads. Mm-hmm. And all you need is a pair of chain nose. I like these really thin chain nose. Let me get my other tools out of the way. What you're going to want to do is twist the long part of your wire up. So we want that to be where we put the beads. So I'm going to grab this wire right at the base, and I'm going to turn it up. And so I've got my wire upwards. Let me see if it will focus for me. So not exactly happy with that last coil there. I'm just going to give that a little more heat. Okay, so we've got our little base. So we've now got a head pin. Now this is a really long head pin, But I'll tell you what, I struggle with working with the really short head pins. Most of the time they don't make something as long as I would like, but I also have a hard time finishing them up when I have just a little bit of my head pin wire left. So we want to make a long earring and we want to have something to work with up top. So here's my guide. And I'm going to grab my seed beads again because I did use the seed beads to add little accents. So once I get that first bead on, I can kind of move that coil around to get it in the right spot. So look how cute that is. Just a little something, a little decorative end of the earring. And then I'm going to add a seed bead. These 11-0 seed beads will fit nicely over 24 gauge wire. Then I've got one of the rounds and adding another seed bead for accent. Our love nugget. I almost called it trillion, but I just can't now. I refuse. And then I topped it off with the oval because this color is so cool. And then it will match nicely back down to our bracelet. And then I did add a seed bead at the end. You don't have to do that because we're gonna just wrap up there anyways. But we've got our matching earring, and then we're going to just do a wire wrap loop. And I'm going to use my regular round nose pliers for this because for some reason using the bail making pliers for wire wrap loop does not work for me. I can only use it for coils. There's just, I don't know, something about it. So I've got my loop. And I'm just going to wrap that around just a couple of times. And I want to give that a nice tug. Give the wire just a nice tug. And I'm going to trim off my excess. And then one little thing I like to do, sometimes you don't get the wire, like you cut it and you've got just a little tiny bit hanging out. So I'll just use my thin chain nose pliers and give that just a little snug so that it doesn't stick out and look funky and also be obtrusive, like it could scratch you or something. So that's our earring, and all we need then are the beautiful ear wires that were in the kit from Softflex. And you're going to string those on in the direction that you would like. So I usually pick the side that the wraps looked the nicest. That's the way I choose. And then I just kind of push my ear wire, that little ball end, against the wire. I told you guys this is a really easy project. But these earrings are beautiful. Now you could, just as a little project suggestion, you could do your coiled end and wire wrap a loop and then wire wrap each one of the beads, and you wouldn't need the seed beads. You could just create more movement and maybe a little more length with these earrings. And the other cool thing you could do is if you've got other beads left over, you could create an even longer earring that way. So you could wire wrap some more beads on. But I just love the simplicity and just the showcasing of these beautiful beads. Gorgeous, gorgeous, incredibly luminous beads. The luminous lineup in its purest form here.
Beautiful. And they really do, like, they look like a totem pole. They stack right up with each other. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
So nothing really challenging, guys, but I think even a beginner could do these projects. And, I think the beads speak for themselves. I mean, let's showcase the beautiful beads. And if you've got other leftover beads from the project, you can make other bracelets with some of the soft flex wire. You've got more of that left over. I know you'll have some of that. There's so many supplies in both of these kits that there's so much more you can do once you finish with all 4 projects, and you've still got Brittany coming up next. So I'm going to flip around, Sarah.
Come on over.
Gonna flip around.
Nope.
Get my camera. Oops, sorry.
Nice. Studio looks so nice, like the backlot studio tour.
It's a little combination of tools and all kinds of crazy things back there.
Oh my gosh. I like to see myself in the background here. I'm like, think I'm on camera already with you, but I'm not. Hi.
Hi.
Oh gosh, Deb, that was really fun. Just like some simple, easy breezy beading.
Yeah. And the beads, Sarah, I mean, the beads in this kit are just so incredibly beautiful. You guys really nailed this one, and all the colors that you brought into it too, the purples and the orangey, peachy fuzz kind of colors, really beautiful.
Well, we love to tell stories with our beads at Jesse James Beads. We love color, and that's one of the reasons why we really enjoy working with Softflex companies so very much, is because Softflex does color so very, very well with their stringing wire. Actually, one of my first experiences with jewelry making was at Bead Fest many moons ago. Like before Jesse James Beads is like Jesse James Beads, now. This is like going way back in the past, like when we had like mixed check bead strands. Like that was our first color mixes that we designed. The color blends and those strands were based off of fashion magazine articles. Anyway, when I first ran into Softflex at a bead show back then, they sold their wire in trios. And this particular kit from Softflex for this event that we have right now, you get 4 wire colors. So it's almost like the wire that I fell in love with, the wire trio I fell in love with, plus 1 additional spool. And it just goes so great with the beads to be able to like see the wire running through. And we're color fiends over here at Jesse James Beads. So it feels like a good match whenever we get to do a play with Softflex.
Can I plug one more thing, Sarah?
Yes.
So it's American Heart Month. So just wanted to throw that out there. So it's a month where we should all be focusing on cardiovascular health. So it's near and dear to my heart. So I just wanted to plug that and make sure people know that there's more to just Valentine's Day in the heart of this month.
Yeah, it's our tickers keep us pumping, and it's important to bring that up, Deb. Thank you for sharing that. Is there any where can we get involved or learn more about American Heart Month?
So you can go to the American Heart Association's website, and there's all kinds of great information there, ways to donate and to learn about cardiovascular health, things you can do for yourself and the ones you love. So check it out.
That's some of the greatest things that we can do and be for each other is, to learn and to educate ourselves, like to educate ourselves how to make jewelry, sure, but also to educate ourselves of how we can be healthy and keep ourselves pumping.
Yep.
From one day to the next.
Yes, ma'am.
It's so important to take care of our minds and our bodies and our souls. And I know that we do a lot of that with jewelry making. Jewelry making is such a stress reliever. It's something that we all can say, like, to be able to take time out of the day to spend time for yourself doing something that you love is so very, very special.
For sure. 100%.
So, Deb, I've got you for 15 more minutes here, so we're hanging out.
Good, let's do it.
And Brittany popped in and was like, "All right, I'm ready to start early." We could, but no, we've got Deb for 15 more. So, Deb, tell tell us something. Tell us about like something you've been experiencing, or if you want to make something on the fly, we're always game for that too. This is up to you.
Well,
Or anything.
I could plug. Well, you know what? I'll show you one more pair of earrings that I made, and
Let's
this
see.
was another secret stash. So
Stop. Those are
so these were in the secret stash sale or your sale, live sale. I
Yes.
don't know, maybe 2 or 3 sales back.
Those are cool.
And the little charmies are just adorable. And then I think these beads were from oh gosh, it was the roses, and it's red and gunmetal. And these beads are super cool. They're really like matte red. And I just thought for Valentine's Day, a little something simple for an earring, you know, and I could wear them in today's show to match all of the love that we're spreading around here.
They're
So
really great.
those are fun. I could also tell you, because my friend Brittany is joining shortly, that Brittany and I are doing a little bit of a collaboration. If you haven't heard about it, it's a little show we're calling Crimped.
Tell us about Crimped. Yes, I want to know more about, as I'm following along on the group, and I feel like I have the in on it, but maybe not everyone here that's watching does. So tell us what's Crimped all about. What are you and Brittany have cooking?
So we are collaborating on a jewelry making talk show. And it's really fun. So we're doing a monthly talk show, and it's the kind of thing you'll want to have a cup of coffee or bring a snack, because it's not like a quick thing, because we're talking about things. So we're not showing you how to make stuff. I mean, Brittany and I both show you how to make things all over the place, but it's about talking about jewelry making. So sharing experiences, sharing information. We're taking questions from our group. So there's a group called Crimped. And then the very most fun thing about this is that we are challenging each other, for starters, to make something. So a play on the show Chopped. The whole cooking show where everybody has to make something from the same kind of basket of goodies.
Yes.
So we're doing that with jewelry making, and then we'll give the challenge. So Brittany and I will make something, we'll reveal it, and then we want everybody else to take the challenge too. So so we're trying to give people another creative outlet and another place to learn things, and you know, just to share information, share what we know. And we're going to have guests on, you know, maybe Sarah, you could come on sometime.
I'd love to.
So, but we've got so many things planned. We're getting ready to film our second show. So if you go to, there's a Crimped jewelry series page, and then there's a Crimped group as well. So follow the page, join us in the group. You can go and request to join. We'd love to have everybody, and we're just going to have some fun. And I get to hang out with Brittany. I mean, who doesn't want to do that?
You know, that's something to really be said. Like, I love that you girls are doing something cool and creative and innovative. Like, anytime someone comes out, like, we're going to do this, it's like, yes, they're feeling passionate about something. Like, that is, again, that ripple effect. Like, you put that out there. It's like, this is what we're doing because this is what we love and we want to try it out. And we all can like feel that energetic ripple of like togetherness and camaraderie and passion for what you love, creating stuff.
Yeah, I think both of us have that same intensity for jewelry making. And so coming together, we're very different personalities, but coming together, there's something like magical about that collaboration and that combination. And we want to bring, you know, the guests and some of the ideas to the table that the group is sharing with us. So there's so much more room for more energy, and the ripples are just going to keep going and going and going. It's going to
like
be
a wave
fun.
pool.
Woo! We're going to be surfing.
Woo! All right. It's just like such a beautiful showing of gals. Like, we're here for the Galentine's Day jewelry making event. And today we're celebrating love, all kinds of love, beads, and friendship. Like the beautiful, beautiful female friendships that we develop throughout our life, and that have been developed throughout jewelry making. Like Deb was just saying, she and Brittany are very different. They have different personalities. You guys live different lives. Both live in Arizona, but it is jewelry making that brings you together. Like, tell me about that. Like, how has jewelry making really like added to the friendships and the fabric of the friendships in your life, Deb?
Well, when I moved back to Arizona, so I've lived in Arizona, off and on for years, but I moved back permanently about 6 years ago, and I discovered people that I've seen online that live here. Now, I knew some lived here, but there are some other ones that I didn't know. And so I've gotten to know these folks, and Brittany was one of them. And, we did a Jesse James Beads and Soft Flex event together. That's how we first worked together. I think it was the Halloween one, maybe a couple of years ago or 3 years ago, maybe. And we met in person, and, just like I met her. I met Julie Peterson, also lives in Arizona, and I've become friends with her. And like knowing that there are people that are as passionate about jewelry making as me, that I can sit down with and like have coffee with, have lunch with, look at beads together with, just like we went to the shows, the gem shows together. And there's just something really magical about sharing time with people that love something the way that you do as much as you do. These ladies that, I've become friends with, and there are others too. I mean, just getting to know them and hanging out with them and talking jewelry and jewelry making. I don't know. It doesn't get much better than that. And having, also having the outlet of people online too, all of the connections like right here is really powerful.
It's like you can continue the conversation. Like, the in-person stuff is so important. Like, it's so nice to have FaceTime with the people that you love and the people that you share something with. Like, and I think that that's one of the reasons why the pandemic really, like, it took us by surprise. Like, well, wait a minute. I'm used to going to Tucson every year. I'm used to going to Bead Fest or to bead shows, to be amongst the people that get me and get like the same thing that I'm into. And that's one of the reasons why we started doing these events with Soft Flex, which then, like that ripple effect, then that's how Deb Floros and Brittany Chavers got to be friends. Like, it's all these like little pieces of positivity that we can put out into the world that you never know how it's going to boomerang back in like the most abundant sort of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. This community is amazing. I just can't say enough about bead people, and people that are part of, the jewelry making world. They're all, really special people, and we have the ability to see them and hang out with them virtually all the time. And that's why I enjoy, popping in on the videos and, seeing what people are doing. It's just fun to have that camaraderie, even though it's not in person looking across the table. It's still really cool to be able to hang out with everybody.
Yeah. And with that, with what Deb's saying, like, for all of our friends that are watching along with us, like, we've had a great crowd here tonight, and we are not done yet. We've still got another hour of jewelry making that's going to begin shortly. But I gotta say, like, everyone that's been popping in and out with your comments, saying hello, it's so nice to see you guys say hi. And if you're like, a longtime listener, longtime watcher, first time commenter, like, I urge you, say hi, come and say hello to us. Like, you don't have to even say much, but just to say hello and build that sort of momentum feels really good. And you are all part of this. Like, just as much as Rachel, Kristen, Jennifer, Deb, myself, Brittany, like all of us are here. You guys are all here too. And we're all doing it together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. It's so fun.
Oh man, Deb. So, okay. So people are asking where they can go and watch Crimped. So Deb's show, is this something that you can watch? Is it live? Is this something that's pre-recorded? Tell us a little bit more about when and where we can watch.
It's pre-recorded. So because it is so long and Brittany's got a day job, so we can't get in, a live video in anytime like during the day. So we're pre-recording.
Cool. Okay.
And then we're going to push it out through the Facebook page and into the group. And it's going to be once a month, probably be right towards the end of the month. And then you've got the whole month after the show to participate in the challenge. So we're going to give you the challenge that we just took. And let me tell you, the challenge that Brittany gave me. So we did kind of this, we gave each of us gave each other something. Do you know what that girl gave me? She gave me a prescription bottle. Like Goldie, her dog. So if you know Brittany, she has the cutest dog, Goldie, and Goldie had some teeth removed and she had a prescription from Goldie. I have this sticker from this bottle, and I had to make something with the prescription bottle.
Okay. This is cool. And I'm glad that you just explained that, or you just told that bit here, because that gives us all a little bit more of like, okay, what is it that I'm going to be watching? What is this show going to be all about? I love that. You girls are so creative. Like, thank you so much for inspiring all of us and being like, just like fun and cool and like weird in like the best of ways. Like, just like unabashedly yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
You're welcome. I like that I can be myself.
Yeah, it's good.
Because I am weird and all of those things. But but we have all of that common thread again, like the whole love of jewelry making brings all the weird and all the good and the happy and all of that together.
Yeah. Yeah. I love artists. Like, you know what I mean? That's like artists, music makers, jewelry designers, like we are all cut from the same cloth, and it is a beautiful tapestry that we weave. Am I right?
Sure is. And I think we all like to have sort of a creative mess going on at all times. So there might be some creative mess behind me. There might be some creative mess on the floor next to me. But we all want to bring all of that together, all of that creative mess that we are and that is us, to each other. And it's fun. It's great. So the show, Sarah, is we want to share information too. So we've talked about topics already, and we'll have some topics every month that we share. And we're also going to show and tell some pieces that we've made. So just kind of our favorite things, and talk about tools, and folks have given us some really good suggestions for just some kind of quick topics or even more detailed topics that we're going to try and cover throughout the year. So we'd love for people to come and join us and to give us more suggestions and to see what we make from our challenges each month, because I think we're going to try and stump each other quite a bit in the coming months.
That's part of the fun, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
And really cool to be able to just talk, where it was like, oh, we got some extra time here. It's like, Deb, you want to make something on the fly? It's like, no, actually, let's just chill.
Let's just talk.
Hang out. Talk about food.
Sorry, the bonus project was not in the plan today.
Yeah, but the earrings to me felt like a bonus. I hadn't seen the bracelet or the earrings before we got started here. And Deb's like, we've got a luminous lineup right here. I'm like, man, she is lining up those beads so much incandescence. Like, look at her go. And then the earrings were just so good too, Deb. Like I always say that it doesn't need to be hard for it to be beautiful. And all 3 classes today, all 3 chunks of jewelry making time have proven that adage to a T.
Yeah, I loved Rachel's project with all of the loops. That really dazzled me. I was like, wow, that's a really cool thing, very different, very unique. And then Jennifer using the chunkamunka bead that's in the kit. I couldn't wait to see how she was going to use that, because she had been saying, I need to use that bead. I need to use that bead. And I'm like, how is she going to use that bead? And she used it. It looked amazing. That necklace was really cool.
She did a great job with that necklace. I agree. And because that bead, you can find it in a couple other, there's another bead mix, one of our goddess mixes at Jesse James, and has it in blue, and it's gorgeous. But it's like, what do you do with that bead? Because it's so large. It's so standout. It's something that you'd almost just put on your own, like string it with like several pieces of soft flex running through it, and it'd be gorgeous.
Yeah.
But Jennifer took it next level. And that was cool.
Yes, totally. Yeah. So I haven't seen what Brittany's going to make yet either. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do. And I'm sure hers is going to be a little more on the complex side. So I can't wait to see, you know, all the variations of what can be done just with the same package of things, you know. And we all picked some, and all came up with something different. So it's pretty cool.
I'm going to bring Kristen on in here. Kristen Fagan from Softflex is back. Hey, girl.
There she is. Hi.
Hey, yes, Kristen's coming, and then Brittany will be here in a minute.
Hello.
Hi. How's your day been, Brittany? How's your day been?
Hold on. I'm not hearing either of you for some reason. Let's see.
The internet's like, we're done. You guys, this is the internet saying, are you guys sure you're still watching?
Are you sure you want to still keep watching this?
Are you sure you still want to create jewelry for another hour?
Yes,
for sure.
Now
Yes,
I feel like I'm hearing
100%.
Okay, I'm gonna bring Brittany on in here too. Hi, Brittany.
Hi, I'm having some internet issues, so if I freeze, I'm sorry.
We'll get through it. We've been like pretty smooth sailing all throughout today. So if anything occurred, I think we're all super forgiving for that. And that red lipstick looks amazing on you. Like we're doing good.
Oh,
hey, everybody. I've been kind of tuning in and out as the day's been going.
I don't know what's going on with my sound. It's not connecting.
No. Well,
I wanted to hop on one more time. And yeah, well, I just want to say hey to everybody. And I can't hear you. I hope you can hear me okay.
yeah.
And I did make a headband out of Rachel Malice's design.
Hold on, just show it really quick.
So I kind of wanted to pop on and show you how her design idea she made could also be a headband. I hope you've all been having such a fun time today. I know I have put so many wonderful designs and techniques and tutorials and lots of bonus content that we didn't even know was going to happen. So I've been hanging out on the chat. You've been seeing me comment at Softflex Company in the background. And I just wanted to say, hey, one more time, but I'm going to head out because I can't hear you all. So have so much fun and love all my gal pals. Have the best time with Brittany Shavers. And I can't wait to go check out what Deb made, because I had to go pick up my kiddo in between that. So I got to go rewatch what you made. Love to all of you, and happy Galentine's Day. All right. See you all soon. Bye.
Hi, Kristen.
Bye, Kristen.
Bye. I love her.
That was funny. Brittany's like, I'm having technical issues, and she starts going talking. Kristen's like, here I am.
I know.
I'm here.
I was like in and out. I was like, there's no way this isn't working. So you just had to keep trying.
You're still we're just gonna
This
press
way. There we go.
on and keep on going. Guys, we are here on our 4th hour of our Galentine's Day jewelry making party extravaganza, marathon, binge-worthy jewelry making session. And we're getting up to our 4th sector. Brittany Chavers, so good to see you.
So happy to be here. Great way to end Galentine's Day is hop on with some of my favorite ladies. So
Yay.
excited. Deb,
Yeah.
I loved your bracelet. I'm going to make one for myself.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can't wait to see what you make.
Well, no surprise, Deb and I like share a brain, so I made a bracelet and a pair of earrings. Well, 2 pairs of earrings, but they're slightly different. There aren't any hearts on my bracelet, but there are hearts in the earrings, and I used a little bit of a different technique. However, it's going to be an easy stranding bracelet, and the earrings are pretty different, but I'm excited because now you're going to be able to stack your bracelets, so that'll be really fun.
I like that.
Yeah, and such a beautiful jewelry making suite. Like what a sweet day we have with all of these projects that have been created that truly go with one another. And honestly, you could stack everything between like I guess Rachel made the bracelet, but it could be a choker. Then Jen's necklaces, double tiered. Then we've got Deb's bracelet. Brittany's given us another bracelet. We got earrings. If you got a bunch of ear holes, you could just put them all.
Oh, I like those earrings, Sarah. Cute hearts.
Oh, cute.
Gotta love Tarjay for the big bold earrings. So what do you think, guys? Do you want to get into some jewelry making? Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it. We're using pink on my project today, but you can use whatever color soft flex you'd like because the beads go with every single color that came in the kit. So I'm really excited about that. I am gonna have to flip my camera so you can see my board. So it'll just be a second while I do that.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deb, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Great projects. Awesome chatting with you. It's always a blast whenever we get together. Like I'm so like it's a thrill to be able to hang out with you and Brittany Chavers together right here. And also with Jennifer and with Rachel and Kristen today. What a cool day. And I couldn't thank you enough for being part of it and for being such a good beady pal.
Thank you for having me, and I hope the rest of the show goes great. And thank you to Softflex as well. Such a cool event. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Deb.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Sarah, I'm having trouble flipping the camera. I think that the settings changed. Sorry. Technical difficulties are.
Oh, okay. Well, she'll be back in a minute. You guys get me for now. I'll add Brittany back onto the stream and we'll get into our 4th hour of jewelry making today. It has been a marathon and like we are not done yet. Okay. I feel so grateful to be able to be amongst such amazing jewelry designers, to have such beautiful beads put together by Jesse James Beads, the incredible wire from Softflex, and to top it all off, just our awesome community that's here in the comments watching along and cheering on our makers and making along as well. Like this is the part, like, you know, we're talking about the friendship and the love we have for creativity, but taking the time to learn, taking, you know, an hour of your day to get your beads out and your bead mat and your tool, and to have that space for yourself. That's that self-care. That's that self-love, that all important self-love, self-care that is at the base of everything. Because how can you go and like spread love to the world if you don't give love to yourself first? And you taking this moment, me taking this moment, us taking this moment to do something to create for ourselves, that is truly the ultimate gift and so very, very important. So now we get a little bit more of that. Oh, yay. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
See Brittany's table. Wow. That dish has got my name all over it.
I got these in Tucson, an African village, so I had to show them off.
Now you posted of it. I was like, but I like seeing it with the beads inside. It looks
yeah,
really
it's so pretty. So sorry about that. I just technical difficulties are my middle name today, I guess. But I'm going to be using this pink, this really pretty pink that was in the Softflex kit, the pink tourmaline. We're going to be using an array of beads from the Jesse James Beads portion of the kit. The thing that screamed my name when I started looking and pawing through this kit were these little carved roses. So I'm so excited those were in there. And Sarah, did you say those are rose quartz?
They are not actually. They're mother of pearl shell, and there's like a crushed shell powder that's been then mixed with a little bit of an adhesive and put into a press to get that flower.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah.
so cool, though. I love that.
That's how you see the different striations through it. Is because it's the shell.
Oh, very cool. I love that. And then we're going to be using some beads from this beautiful crystal strand. We're going to be using those hearts. Everybody who knows me knows I love hearts. You can see I've got 2 heart bowls here. But we're going to be making a pair of, or 2 pairs of earrings, if we can get to them, which I think we can, and a bracelet. And my bracelet's all pink for the most part. And I'm going to show you how to turn your bead into a closure instead of using a clasp. So I use this a lot when I don't have a clasp that matches my project. Say you're working with like a really different metal than you're used to, or you just don't have anything in your stash that matches. It's always good thing to have in your arsenal to be able to turn your beads into a button. So we're going to learn how to do that. And then I have a couple pairs of earrings that I'll set off to the side, but let's get started. I'm going to lay out this bracelet so we can see the pattern. And you can absolutely, I mean, there are tons of beads left over from the entire class. So you can use whatever beads, whatever pattern you want to use. Mine is a little bit longer. I've got a little bit of a fluffier wrist. So mine's probably about between 7.5 and 8 inches long. But please, please, please make this yours and just make it the length that you need. So I'm going to open up my my strands that I need for this bracelet. And I'm also grabbing beads out of the mix, and I'll show you. I think I've already gotten them off to the side here, but I'll lay out the beads slowly enough that you can see what the pattern is. So I'm just gonna move these down a little bit, and I'm gonna give you a slightly different take on it. If you have some head pins or a jump ring, you can also make a charm and put a charm on your bracelet as well. So I'm going to need one of my flowers. We'll need some of the pink rondelles. We'll need off of this clear glass strand, there were some almost like table cut beads. We'll need a couple of those. We have this English cut or star cut bead. Do you know, Sarah, what that is? Is that quartz?
That's rose quartz, yes.
Okay, very
That's
cool.
rose quartz, and the rounds in the strand are also rose quartz.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. Thank you. We'll need all 6 of these pearls from our mix. I have a little bead tray over here. And we're going to need our little sheriff stars, our crystal rondelle spacers, our little, I call these bling balls, rhinestone balls. I love those. Anything with sparkle, I'm going to be a huge fan of. And thankfully, Josie James Beads has a lot of sparkle up their sleeves, right?
Yes, we do.
We'll need, did you say that these are rose quartz as well?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll need those 2. Very cool. And we'll need these 2 crystal rondelles. Again, this is a longer strand bracelet, so you can edit, add in, remove whatever beads that you need to do to make it your own. And I'm just making sure that I have enough. Oh, we'll need the rest of these sheriff stars.
I love that you call them sheriff stars.
I can't call them anything else at this point. Like, that's all I think of them as. And then I'm just going to move the rest off to the side because we actually will be ending up using some of those in the earrings that we're going to make. So I'm going to start by putting on my my rose, and we're going to make it into a button. I'm going to take a crimp tube from Softflex, put that on, And then I am going to put on my rose. And the really cool thing about this rose, it makes it so easy to make it into the closure. It's got this nice groove, so our soft flex wire just lays right in that groove. And I'm going to come around the flower just on one side and then come back through that flower. Or I'm sorry, back through the crimp. And then we'll snug it up against the flower. It doesn't have to be right up against the flower, but pretty close. You don't want it to be too loose. And I heard Deb talking about using regular crimping pliers. I'm using regular crimping pliers today too.
Oh, nice.
So I just put that crimp right in the largest valley of the crimping pliers. And as my on my channel, I always say squish. It's my favorite part of crimping. And then I turn it 90 degrees, put it in the next channel, squish again. And then I always just squish one more time. Okay. So then I'm going to cut this off of my spool. Typically, I make my bracelets on the spool because I don't want to waste wire. But since we've already crimped onto one side of the bracelet, we need to string from the other side. So this is where you can use your imagination, put in beads from your own stash, whatever you'd like to do. And then I'm just going to do another one in the same configuration. So I'm putting on a crystal rondelle, one of these little table cut beads. I just love them. They're kind of sparkly and frosted at the same time. Another crystal rondelle. And the cool thing about the kit was there were 2 different metals. So if you're a mixed metal girly like me, you can use your gold and your silver. On the bracelet, I did just use silver, but on the earrings coming up, I used both. So, and then I'm going to put on my rose quartz, more rose quartz. I love that there's a differentiation between these 2 and they're the same stone. I like that. And then a pearl. And then my sheriff stars are going to sandwich my 2 larger, like peach color, almost that peach fuzz color rondelle. And then we'll do another pearl. A smaller crystal rondelle. And then we need the these really fun, like almost like majestic. I don't know what color these are supposed to be, but I call them mystic almost. They've got a bunch of different colors like purple and green and blue in them. We're
They're
going to use
so
these
special.
Yeah, they're so gorgeous.
Like pictures and the video that just doesn't do them justice. How gorgeous those beads are in person. They're like showstoppers.
I know, they make my eyes go wide every time I look at something like that. Like, oh, that's shiny. It's like candy. And then we're just going to keep going. I really liked the thought of just using like the more pinky tones on this bracelet. And I did notice that everybody kind of chose a color palette. I know Jennifer's was orange. Deb's was a little bit more clear because of her big heart, and Rachel's was kind of like that taupe color. So I like that we all kind of stayed in a different color tone. And I'm just going to keep going. Okay, here we go.
Such a pretty pinky purple color palette.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious how the projects were going to churn out in terms of color, because typically when we do these classes, our designers will choose like, okay, I'm going to take the bead mix, and all right, I'll take this bead strand, and someone else will chime in, all right, I'll take the other bead strand. But this time around, Deb was the first to claim her beads, and she said, well, I'm going to take the heart, the big heart from the strand, and then for the bead mix, I'm going to take this one, and this one. I was like, oh, well, that we don't usually do it that way, but
I know. I was like, okay, well, this will be like a puzzle then, right?
Right. Well, but that's why it's like really kind of cool because I did think that the projects were going to turn out like kind of like all like a mishmash of all the colors, like everyone was going to use all the colors, but it wasn't that way at all. And man, you guys, it made it fun. Like it definitely added, I think, a little bit of a challenge for our designers choosing which products they were going to use and which beads were available to them. But you guys have just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And I think it did add a little extra challenge to it, which is cool.
Of course. And you know what? It was funny because I was like the whole time I didn't really claim anything, even though my heart was set on the roses. I just didn't really say it. And then nobody chose the roses. So I was super happy. So I am just gonna go back to where my rose was at the beginning, and I slipped the tail end of that wire through a few beads. Just I don't like seeing the cut wire right up against the crimp, so I just slip it through a couple. I'm gonna trim it off here. I did jump in when Jennifer was saying she was saving these little teeny pieces, but I couldn't understand what she was saving it for because I missed that part. Did she say what she was saving the little tiny pieces for?
Oh, of the Softflex wire?
Yeah.
So that you can put them in like the tiny pieces, you could put them into like a clear Christmas ornament at Christmas time and make a Christmas present for Sarah Ayler and for Kristen Fitton.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
She was also saying that she doesn't like to waste it all. So if there's like any bit of wire that's reusable, she just puts it off to the side so that she could reuse it later. But she had seen someone create a Christmas ornament with all bits of colored Softflex wire, and it looks really cool. So that's where that one came from.
Neat. That's neat. I like that. All right, so I've finished stringing my components, and I'm just going to put on another crimp tube. And very similarly to the way that you finished off Deb's bracelet, we're going to come back down through a couple beads. However, my loop is going to be a little bit larger because we need it to fit over the rose, right? So I am going to just take my rose and put it in the middle of that loop and then tighten my bracelet. Now, we don't want this to be in a straight line like this while we're crimping the other end. It's not going to look well, right, and it won't drape well over your wrist. So I always say keep it loosey-goosey and kind of draped like this. Just make sure there aren't any huge noticeable gaps. I'm going to take my crimping pliers, put that in the largest valley, and we're going to squish. My hope is one day that people will start saying squish out loud with me. And then we'll squish again. And then squish one more time. And then I will just take my nippers and get in as close as I can to this bead. Do not snip your main wire. I've done that multiple times in the past. And then you have a closure without using a clasp or a jump ring or any other tools other than your crimp tubes and your wire. So super easy, but kind of a different way to do your closure. I did end up taking an eye pin on one of the second roses, and I just made a quick charm. And I have a jump ring here, and you can also add that onto your bracelet if you want to make it a charm bracelet. Just add it on like it's a bead or slip it on somewhere else in your project. Super cute. Just slip that on right here. And then you have a charm bracelet.
So cute.
I love these beads together. They're so pretty.
Wow. What a great usable technique to learn how to make a bead and use it as a button.
It's one of my favorite things. I do it quite a bit, but it's easy and it gets the job done. So now I have two to wear, but we still have time, and I still have two earring designs that I'd like to show you. And one of the earring designs can be made with just Softflex, or if you're not as confident using Softflex, you can do the same design using an eye pin. So what I'll do is grab one of the smaller hearts that was on that heart strand, one of the pink hearts that was in on the rose strand, a gold bling ball, and a gold rhinestone spacer. I am going to take some of my pink wire and cut that off. But again, any color, whatever color you want to see is the color that you should use. And I'm kind of going to make a head pin out of my wire. So I'm just going to slip on a crimp tube. I am going to take my crimping pliers and just squish. And then I'll turn 90 degrees and I'll squish again. And I'll squish one more time. And then I'm just going to cut off any visible wire at the end. And it'll be fine. This is not going to slip off. I am just going to load on my beads. So I'm taking the larger heart first, the rhinestone spacer, the next heart, and then the bling ball. I just realized I make up a lot of words for these for these beads. I don't know if that's supposed to be called the bling ball. I don't know if it's supposed to be called the sheriff star, but I just call them whatever I want to.
I think like that's like really like part of the fun. It's like part of the activities. Let's just go on and just name the beads.
This would also be a really cute purse charm too, if you wanted to add like a clasp at the end or a keychain. It's just a cute little stack of really sweet beads. And then what I'm going to do is just come back down through my bling ball and the crimp tube, move everything down, and then we just want that loop to be just big enough to go over our earring finding. So it doesn't have to be any bigger than that. Just make sure that everything else is straightened out and move down. This is okay if you want this to be tight because it doesn't need to bend or move any specific type of way. All right, so then we're gonna squish and turn 90 degrees, and we're gonna squish again and one more time. And then I'll just cut that off right there. And then we'll take one of our earring wires. There we go. And if the little piece, this loop doesn't fit over the ball, that's okay. You just feed it on the other way. Here we go. And we have our cute, sweet little Valentine heart earrings. Oh, and I used a different size spacer on both of them. So be careful when you're doing that. There are 2 different size spacers in the kit. But I think that's super sweet and so sparkly.
Wow. Gosh, the hearts, hearts stacked on hearts is so cute. And man, oh man, it's so neat how you can see that wire running right through them.
Yep.
Really do something for it.
I also did a variation if, like I said, you're not too sure with wire and doing a loop like that. I encourage you to learn because it'll be super easy once you get it down. But I did do a version with a head pin, almost exactly the same, but I noticed with the head pin, the rhinestone spacer didn't fit as well. So I grabbed this bead cap that was in, I think, the mix, and put that, and it fits right into that heart. And then I'll just put another heart on, and that fits right into the bead cap. So it's just another variation. And then I put the bling ball on the top. And then I did do a simple loop here. If you really want to, you can do a wire wrapped loop. But to do a simple loop, there are 2 different ways. I'm going to show you the easiest way. Just turn your head pin 90 degrees. And then we're going to cut that off so there's about a 1/2 inch left. Take your round nose pliers and just turn that back toward your beads. And you have a really quick little dangle, which you can use any way you'd like, but certainly as an earring or a charm or however you want to use it. We'll just put that on our earring. And that's the other way to use those beads. See? Slightly different, but still super duper cute.
I'm curious the hard head pin versus the soft flex. Like, how does that? I feel like it might be a little hard to see from the camera, but how does it feel? Like, how does the weight of it? How does it dangle in your opinion, Brittany?
So this one with the head pin's a little heavier.
Mm.
I think they dangle about the same. It's just really, I think it's just what your preference is.
Cool.
They're very similar. And then if you're interested, I have one more earring that I want to show you.
Always. Always
And this one's a little bit more difficult, but still pretty beginner friendly. I took 4 of these little purplish pink crystal rondelles from, I think these were in the mix, so I have 4 there. I also took one of the Shambhala beads, which I just love how sparkly that is.
Mhm.
I took another one of the crystal rondelle spacers and another one of those same bead caps. Okay, and for this one, we're also going to need 2 crimps. So for the first part of the earring, we're going to load on 3 of these crystal rondelles. And then we're going to kind of move those down to the middle. And then I'm going to take this 4th one and I slipped it onto the right side of my wire. And then I'm going to take the left side of my wire and also slip that in there, going the opposite direction. And then we'll just kind of pull that till all 4 beads meet down in the middle. Okay. So it looks like that. We've got like a little diamond of beads.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I love it.
And then I am just going to take both my wires, come up to the top. Oh, I didn't do the middle very clearly. It's a little wonky, but I'm going to just cut off. Actually, you know what? I'll leave it like that. And then I'm going to put on a crimp tube on both pieces of my wire and slide that down toward our cluster of beads. Okay. And then we're just gonna crimp that like we normally would, but you really want to make sure that you get the crimp kind of in the middle of the top bead. So see how it's kind of sliding off to the left here. I'm gonna just try and pull my wires until I get that in the middle because we don't want it to be a lopsided earring.
Nobody likes lopsided earrings.
I mean, unless you do. I mean, I guess asymmetrical earrings are in, but that's not the look.
Actually,
That's not the look here. So, and this is why I said it's kind of not beginner friendly, but I think if you're determined, you can do it. It's just a little more finagling than I wanted to do as a beginner on an earring. So I'm going to slip that in. Ooh, it keeps sliding over to the side. And it's user error, not product error. And then I will just squish, turn 90 degrees, and squish again. And then I'm going to take, actually, I'm going to come right here and I'm going to cut off my shorter wire. So that's held in place by that crimp tube. We no longer need it. And this is almost becoming, again, like a head pin. I'm going to slide on my rondelle spacer, and that's going to seat over that crimp tube that we crimped. Okay. So it's kind of hiding that from view. Then I am going to put on my Shambhala bead, my bead cap, and I am going to put on another crimp at the top. Yay! Somebody's excited.
We had a snow day today, so no one's in the office, but we had lost power at my mom's house here in Pennsylvania where Rodrigo and I are staying. So I was like, we got to get to the warehouse. I know we're closed for the day, but we need electricity and internet to run this Galentine's Day event. So my mom and Rodrigo and Axel Rose, our golden retriever, that Axel's getting cheered upon back there is what's happening.
I figured that's what it was. I was like, I know the dog just did something fun. So I pulled that wire back down through my crimp tube and my bead cap, just like we did on the last earring. And then what are we going to do?
Squish.
Yeah, we're gonna squish, turn 90 degrees and squish again. And then squish one more time. And then I am going to nip that off. Find my earring wire. And I actually think that's more interesting than me making jewelry. I kind of want to see what he's doing. But here is our pair of earrings.
What? Those are so cool.
So just a fun little cute charm that you can make out of, and you can do this with any size bead. You can do this with any type of bead. It doesn't have to be a rondelle. It could be a round. It could be metal beads, whatever you have on hand. But I thought that was a little fun pop of crystal.
Yeah, they look like little quatrefoils.
Yeah, that's actually really great. A really great description. I love that. So we made 3 different things really quickly.
I love it. These are great. I mean, all the projects today were just like fun and just like no stress and just great ways to put some beads and jewelry together, way to put the beads to work and really let the wire be the backbone of all the projects.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun and I can't wait to go back and rewatch some of them so I can get some ideas. You're gonna probably see my ceiling for a second and then I'm gonna switch back to my face.
Ceiling first, then Brittany.
Here I am. Oh, I was upside down for a second. There we go. I figured it out this time. I didn't have to leave and come back. So there we go.
That's all right. Yeah.
I'm just realizing your shirt is like pink and fluffy. You remind me of Cher from Clueless.
Ah, thanks. What? There's Axel. Axel, come on back. Come here. Come say hi. This is Axel. Axel, here. Say hello.
Axel. Goldie, you want to say hi?
Yeah, maybe we'll have the dog. We can have the dog say hello. Yeah, thank you. It's been Galentine's to the max, and like, what a really cool day to just like get to pal around with these amazing designers. Brittany, I love that we like finagled for the finale with your last earring pair that we did, and yeah, just like what a cool day. Oh, y'all, there's Goldie. Axel, come here. Come on. Axel, come say hi.
He's like, you woke me up for this?
He's like, we have been in this warehouse. There's been nobody here for the last 4 hours.
Oh, he's going to wear some earrings.
Okay. Oh, Goldie. See, so this is like exactly like, I love how we can open at the close. We can like finish just the way that we started. And what I was talking about, Brittany, in the beginning of the show with Kristen and with Rachel, gosh, 4 hours ago, we were talking about celebrating all the different kinds of love, you know, the love that we have, like romantic love, the friendship love, I love for creating, I love for our pets, and how full our lives really are. Don't you think that we like get to like have all these things and just like when we open our heart to experiences and we open our heart to giving love and also receiving it, that's like where the magic is. And look at you, like you just made all these beautiful projects. You got your dog with you. Like that's
like my favorite type of day where we're beads and puppies.
It's like we got a big announcement that's coming up tomorrow that you'll have to stay tuned and see what's coming up on the Jesse James Beads page for some fun that we've got for the spring, beads and blank. But I also really love beads and puppies, like Brittany just suggested. Maybe there's an idea.
If you ever do beads and puppies, sign me up. Hopefully it's in person and we could do like puppy yoga, but with beads. That would be amazing.
I love it. Like the more we get together, the better the ideas are born. Like I swear, we just like put a bunch of creative minds together and like poof, something amazing is gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it has been an excellent day. All of our designers, Rachel Malice, Jennifer Miller, Deb Florals, and Brittany Chavers here. You all have just absolutely crushed it. And I know I'm speaking for all of us who have been watching and being involved that this has been so much fun. And it's so fun to make along with you with Softflex Company and with Jesse James Beads.
Well, thanks for having me, Sarah. I'm always excited to join in. I think this is my Is this the third Galentine's Day in a row? I can't remember.
I think so. It's something like
so.
that. I didn't get to be. I was out of the country for the last Galentine's Day, and I think it was Sarah Ayler that hosted the whole shebang last year. So I said, "All right, I will take the torch." Happy to lead us through, and it's just so fun to do like a marathon like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm always happy to be back.
Brittany, you always bring such cool energy to the table. Your projects are fun. You're fun to learn with, just fun to hang out with. So thanks for being here. And thank you to all of our designers that took part today and all of our gals that joined here in the crowd. It's been real.
Bye, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We'll see you soon. We'll catch you next time. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.